race fans to Peterborough Speedway and the APC Autumn Colors Classic presented by Toronto Motorama. I'm Adam Ross, joined tonight by Brendan Doherty, Charlie Toner. Fellas, it's going to be a great show tonight.
Absolutely. We've got a full slate of racing to take us into tonight. And if you're not here, I mean, you're going to be missing out on that big live band dance party coming up. I heard you got some moves.
You heard incorrectly, but there's still time to get here. It's a great atmosphere. That campground is absolutely jam-packed.
There's nothing better than coming down the old Mount Pleasant Road and seeing the field full of campers and everybody lined up, ready to go at the pit gate, waiting for that to open on Friday morning. And the main pits are packed. That's the great thing to see. From top to bottom, the main pits are packed. And right now, we got the Gen 3 Electrical Ontario Modified Racing Series set to kick things off with heat number 1. Leading them off, the number 50 machine. That is Alex Kazilla, your reigning series champion. The RKR Trucking Napa Auto Parts Port Perry. PD McLaren Limited 50 machine. Days outside to be the 61 machine. That's Rob Warren's of Newcastle. The Gen 3 Electric Port Transmission. TNT Performance Products. All or Nothing Brewhouse. Sterling Tire. Clark Motorsports Communications. ELS Limited. Clintar Commercial Outdoor Services. Northtown Air and Warren's Racing aboard the 61 machine. Then we'll go to the 72. That is Bob Franks, the Needles Collision Center Torque Builders. Webb's Transmission 72 ride. 62, that's Randy Hollingsworth, Mosport Speedway veteran. Then we go to the 3. That is Shane Pollock, the Wayne James Haulage at Uxbridge Limited. 3 ride, 63 machine, multi-time series champion. That is JBJ, John Baker Jr., the Juke Pump and Patio. Robson Solutions, Gen 3 Electrical, Frothingham Bookkeeping. Oshawa Hearing Clinic, 63 ride, 46 machine. That is Tyler Bullion. Aboard the Gorski Roofing, Ray Hobbs Garage, Carl's Race Engines ride, 90 machine. That is Rick Warren's, Newcastle Gen 3 Electric Port Transmission, TNT Performance Products, All or Nothing Brewhouse, Sterling Tire, Clark Motorsports Communications, ELS Limited, Clintar Commercial Outdoor Services, Northtown Air, and Warren's Racing. And then we will round out the field with the 83 machine. Late entry here this afternoon, that's Andrew Massey, the Great North Storage Corner 5 Racing ride, as it is championship day, I believe, for the Ontario Modified Racing Series. JBJ John Baker Jr. coming in with the points lead, looking to clinch a championship here, as we'll double them up here for qualifying heat race number 1.
And here's something cool, folks, and I've seen this more and more this year. I love it. B&G Towing just came up to JP, the owner of Peterborough Speedway, and said anybody, they're from Curtis, by the way, anybody who's able to sweep all their races this weekend is going to get a $500 bonus from B&G Towing. That stuff's cool.
That's going to put a lot of pressure on those heat races. 8 laps in the heat races for the most part here through the Autumn Colors Classic. The APC Autumn Colors Classic presented by Toronto Motorama. So that's going to mean it's go time. You're starting at the back. You want to have a shot at that. You got to get on the loud pedal on lap 1 and make some moves and make them quick. Looks like they'll come to 1 to go next time by. And we'll get things kicked off here. The 30th annual APC Autumn Colors Classic presented by Toronto Motorama. Looking for the Great Canadian RV green flag next time by. Lights to be extinguished on the floor coverings, International Peterborough Speedway pace truck, and it'll be ready to kick things off here with the Gen 3 Electrical Ontario Modified Racing Series. They're making their Autumn Colors Classic debut, and they'll run a full card here tonight to kick things off. Floor coverings, International pace truck hits pit road, coming to the first Great Canadian RV green flag of the 30th annual APC Autumn Colors Classic. Green flag in the air off of turn number 4. Kuzilla with a jump down into turn number 1. Warren's on the high side, falling back. Now has to deal with Bob Franks down on the bottom of the 72 machine. Here comes the Needles Collision Center 72 ride. Down on the bottom side of the racetrack, looking for second. JBJ, John Baker Jr. making some moves already deeper in the pack, trying to work his way towards the top 5 to the outside of Tyler Bullion. In the Gorski Roofing Sign Works 46 machine. Bullion holding his own down on the bottom of the racetrack. Baker trying to find some grip up on the high side. Here comes Shane Pollock now. Pollock to the inside of the 61 of Rob Warren's. Looking for the 3rd position, side by side for 3rd. Baker Jr. going to make an aggressive move down in front of Rick Warren's to slide in line, trying to get to the bottom side of the racetrack. Rob Warren's up the racetrack still. Let's get open the door. Here comes JBJ up to the 5th spot now. But out front is smooth sailing for Alex Cazil, the RKR Trucking 50 machine. Your reigning series champion trying to do what he can to try to close the gap to JBJ John Baker Jr. here tonight. And getting off to a good start halfway through this one. 4 laps in, 4 to go with the cross flags in the air that time by. John Baker Jr. now up to 4th, gets past Pollock. Pollock back to the 5th spot. Going to go to work now on Tyler Bullion, that 46 machine, a graduate of the Superstock division here at Peterborough Speedway. made the jump up a few years ago up to the Ontario Modified Racing Series. Has a feature win here in the Ontario Sportsman Series with the Super Stock as well. Going back a few years on that one. Bob Franks having a good showing. The Daisies Collision Center web transmission 72 car holding on to the second spot. Bullion trying to run him down, but laps winding down. They'll come to the white flag this time by Kuzilla to coast home from here. Baker working high, working low, trying to find a way past Bullion. Bullion gets loose, slams the door shut down into turn number 1. Final time into 3. First checkered flag of the 30th Annual Autumn Colors Classic is going to go to Alex Kuzilla. Frank's going to come home in second. Bullion third, Baker fourth, and Warrens will round out the top 5.
You're not kidding. Things happen in a hurry. There's a lot of traffic out there, and business picks up quick.
It sure does. It takes no time at all, and 8 laps around here goes by real fast. You think you got time to work, but you got to get on it, and you got to get on it fast. Right now, pulling down into victory lane, the RKA Trucking, now up our Sport Perry. PD McLaren Limited, number 50 machine. Put your hands together. Your Heat 1 winner, Alex Kuzilla. Family headed down, going to get in the victory lane picture. You know, heat win's always big, but especially here at the Autumn Colors Classic to close out the year here on the pavement side of things in Ontario.
We like to close things out in a big way here at Peterborough Speedway.
Hey, it's the best way to do it. I mean, go big or go home, right? So I believe next up it will be the Trailers Plus Canadian Legend cars rolling on to the track as they have also, this is their final points night as well. Leading them off be the 02 machine out of Woodville, the Grassroots Racing Brass Ink entry. That is Andrew McFadden. 57 machine. Back again, the winner of the Canadian Legend Car Nationals at Sunset Speedway earlier this year, all the way from Hampton, Georgia, driving the Canadian Legend Cars entry for Kevin Foisey. That is Josh Hicks aboard the 57 machine. 79 machine. That is Adam Cuthbertson. The Flying Colors Corporation Can Rack Storage System 79 machine. To his outside, it'll be the 97. I believe a Wes Cuthbertson. Oh, maybe not. Looks like they're still getting themselves a little bit organized. We got some cars coming from the main pit, some coming from the outfield pit. So the 34, that'll be Caleb Drimmy then to the outside of Adam Cuthbertson. The KOD Disposal Bet Carpentry entry. And then it should be the 51J of Josh Inglis. Out of Coldwater, the Simcoe County Auto RV Sales. Bromley Automotive, Paul Sadler Motors, AC Plus Automotive, Sunshine Car Wash and Detailing, Ground Level Contracting, Pinnacle Graphics, Wally's and Enerson Trucking aboard the 51J. Then it'll be your reigning series champion, current points leader coming into tonight. Out of Gravenhurst, the Peter Nicolai Concrete Finishing T&M Auto Body, Canadian Legend Car KRA Automotive Ride of Parker Traves. And then we will have the 97 machine, the Flying Colors Corp Can Rack Storage Systems Ride of Wesley Cuthbertson. Then it'll be the 07 of Jeff McKibben and Lindsay, the Next Level Excavating Kawartha Vinyl Ride. And then we'll go to the 90 machine of Jordan Latimer. The TaxSmart Bookkeeping entry. And rounding out the field will be Steve Guru out of Owen Sound, the Wyerton Home Hardware, Wyerton Home Design Center, Orangeville Opticians, Jackson Construction, and South Coast Capital Partners aboard the 08 qualifying heat race number 1 for the Trailers Plus Canadian Legend cars as they get set to roll. Behind the floor coverings, International Peterborough Speedway Pace Truck. So Traves has a large gap over Dawson Drimmy, the 66 machine, who we'll see in the next heat race coming in tonight. But I'm told that's it's over 70 points from my count. Quickly looking at it, but I am told that it is still possible for that to happen. I guess with drop nights, the way the point series work for the Canadian Legend Car Series. So Parker Trey is going to have to mind his P's and Q's and keep himself out of trouble here if he wants to bring home a championship. A late entry is the 21 machine. That's Mitch Wright out of Curtis, the B&G Towing and Recovery Durham Fight Series. TJP painting ride out of the Canadian Legend Car stables. And now with him joining the field, we're now able to get rolling for qualifying heat race number 1 for the Trailers Plus Canadian Legend Car Series. So I'll be interested to see Josh Hicks from Hampton, Georgia. First time seeing Peterborough Speedway was this afternoon. I can tell you, a few weeks ago was his first visit to Sunset Speedway, and of the 4 features run for the Canadian Legend Car Nationals, he took home 3 of them. So it doesn't take him long to get acclimated to figure it out. So we'll see what he can do, but he's got to start on the high side of the racetrack, so that'll be the interesting part.
You know, this is a deceiving racetrack, though. I chatted a bit with Chris Lawrence, pure stock driver and owner extraordinaire, during practice. And he says it's deceiving how narrow this racetrack is. It looks like you've got a lot of room out there, but once you get out there in a car, it is very narrow.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the second groove's there. The third groove, not so much. And the way things, especially off of turn 4, tighten up, the last place you want to be is the third groove.
The third groove's for emergency use only.
Yeah.
Break the glass if you need to head up there and do what you got to do to get out of that groove. But now for these cars, there's got to be 3 grooves out there for them.
I would argue no. There are 2 grooves that are safe to race on. That third groove, in turn 3 and particularly turn 4, it becomes one groove very fast.
Well, with Legend Car racing, it's all momentum based, and you know, it's Sunset even there where it's a multi-groove track. Even for the Legend Cars, it's very tough to go to that high side and make it work. Really, the bottom is the fastest way around for the Legend Cars, but I mean, Hicks is he's got no choice. He's got to make it work here on the start.
That's the best way to find something that works in a race car, is when you have no other choice. When you have to do something, wow, who saw that coming?
Congratulations, it's your first race at Peterborough Speedway, and you're starting outside pole of your qualifying heat race. So Josh Hicks going to see what he can do. The driver out of Hampton, Georgia, got Andrew McFadden to his inside, the veteran. Field starting to pick up speed off of turn number 4, coming to the Great Canadian RV green flag, and we are racing with the Trailers Plus Canadian Legend Cars. And Hicks sends that car on the high side down in 1 and 2. He'll come away with the top spot. And it looks like Cuthbertson's going to follow through in the 97 machine. Adam Cuthbertson working the high side of the racetrack. Ooh, almost made contact with McFadden that time by, but able to get clear. Inglis now rolling the high side of the racetrack as well. The young man out of Coldwater, Ontario, making the high side work. Mitch Wright gets a shot from Parker Trays. They're going to be 3 wide down the back straightaway into turn number 3. McFadden, the meet in the sandwich. Inglis up on the high side of the racetrack, rolling up there. Here comes Latimer, the number 90 machine, working his way from the tail of the field in the sedan. The former Superstock and late model regular has turned his focus to Legend Car racing. Has been quite successful down across the border this year, picking up wins in New York. Hasn't raced too much with the Canadian Legend Car Series, but when he has, he's been successful. Winner out at Flamborough Speedway last week with the Great Lakes Legend Series. Up to 4th now. Cross flags in the air already for Josh Hicks, but Cuthbertson trying to close the gap in the 97 machine. The Flying Colors Corp Canrack Storage System 79 trying to run down the 57 of Josh Hicks out of Hampton, Georgia. Looking to bring home his first career heat win here at the Autumn Colors Classic. Traves runs in the 3rd spot. Latimer 4th. Mitch Wright knocking on the back door of the mirror nerf bar. The 51J of Inglis that time down to turn number 1, trying to work his way towards the top 5. Inglis moves up the racetrack, and here comes the 21 and Mitch Wright. The BG towing and recovering 21 machine down on the bottom side of the racetrack. He'll go to the 5th spot. That'll shuffle Inglis back. Inglis looked maybe for the crossover down into 1, but that car got loose over the bump down into 1 as he got on the binders. White flag in the air for Hicks. Cuthbertson unable to close the gap so far. Into 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. The 57 of Josh Hicks looking to go 1 for 1 here at Peterborough Speedway. And he'll do so off of turn number 4. Checkered flag in the air. Cuthbertson for 2nd. Traves in 3rd. Latimer 4th. And Wright will round out the top 5.
And we saw them 3 wide at one point in turn 3, and they did not remain 3 wide to turn 4.
And it was the guy on the very high side in the 3rd lane that took the benefit, which was really impressive. And it looks like Hicks going to skip the victory lane ceremony and head out to the outfield work area. So while he's on track, ladies and gentlemen, make some noise. Your Heat 1 winner, the 57 of Josh Hicks. So here we go, qualifying heat race number 2 for the Trailers Plus Canadian Legend Car Series, the 77 machine out of Hampton, Ontario, the Ibach Canada, the Metal Factory, Walton Restoration, Oshawa, RB Somerville, Chippers Custom Painting, Pete Larkin Salvage, Abutment Technologies, White Feather Farm 77 machine, that is Glenn Morris. That'll be the 36T machine out of Alma, the Jim Bowman Rebacks, Mapleville Mortgages, Protect Sprinkler Services ride of Todd Tolton, 66 machine, second in points coming in tonight out of Peterborough, the KOD Disposal Clerk, Carpentry Met, Carpentry ride of Dawson Drimmy. 44 machines, Jason Lay, the Lakers Race Shop entry out of Owen Sound. 17 machine, it's the Little Gambler, Zach Latimer out of Coldwater, Latimer Ceiling Service, Creature Designs, ICI Heavy Holland, Tax Smart Bookkeeping ride. Then we go to the 31, that's Connor James out of Hamilton, the Juice Speed Motorsports, Mason's Place, JF Enterprises, Latimer Ceiling Service, Sim Traps, and Lindy of Barrie, driving for car owner Jade Franklin this weekend. 78S machines, the Tank, Joe Sherman out of Angus, the AMS Oil Products, Homeworks, Certified Home Inspections, and Dump and Move Bin Rentals ride of Joe Sherman. 25 machine is Keaton Pipe out of Whitby, the Infinite Motorsports, Hip Motorsports, Element Canada, Safe Auto and Transport and Storage, Canada Cone Ice Cream and Novelties, Antra International Marketing, Restyle It Vehicle Customization, and Sark Realty Century 21 ride. The Rookie of the Year contender, 78 machine, former Sunset Speedway Bone Stock Track Champion in Caledon, the Green Tractor Branded TSI Heavy Equipment, CDP Diesel and Auto, Silverbell Landscaping, Marshall Race Fuels, Rob's Used Rubbers, Imadrafts.ca, and Epic Racewear. That is Matt Boys. And then we have the 300 of Cole McFadden, the Brass Ink Grafters Racing entry. We ride for him this weekend. And the 8 machine is Anthony Anderson, the Aurelio Metal Fabrication number 8 machine. That is your lineup for qualifying heat race number 2 for the Trailers Plus Canadian Legend Cars here on night number 1 of the 30th annual APC Autumn Colors Classic presented by Toronto Motorama. And remember, those of you in the stands, if you get the chance, we have the Autumn Colors t-shirts and hoodies available. Today you'll need the t-shirt, tomorrow the hoodie, so you can go down in a 2-for-1 shot. You can plan accordingly for your whole weekend and get your whole wardrobe picked up. So that is, I believe, down here at the base of the tower is the Peterborough Speedway souvenir booth. You can get your Autumn Colors Classic hoodies and t-shirts there.
And they are a limited edition only for this for the 30th annual Autumn Colors Classic. So get them while you can, because once they're gone, they're not printing them again until the 31st annual Autumn Colors Classic next year.
Yeah, I mean, the 30th only comes once. So, you know, you've got to get it this year or you don't, because next year's going to be the 31st. So,
and if you have a sweet tooth, there's the amazing brownies, the track brownies here at Peterborough Speedway.
I've heard about them. I think once in a while they bring some up to us. So I'm going to cross my fingers and hope that happens.
I've seen it happen. Don't tell our production truck.
About us eating brownies, or that there is brownies?
Either.
Okay.
If the cameras all point to the sky, we know where they are.
That's pretty much it.
Looks like we're going to take one more lap around here with the Floor Coverings International Peterborough Speedway Pace Truck. Let these drivers get some heat in the engines in these tires as we get set to fire off. Qualifying heat race number 2 for the Trailers Plus Canadian Legend Car Series. You want to keep your eyes on the 66 of Dawson Drimmy as he does his best to try to close the points gap to Parker Traves. Traves, I believe, came home in 3rd position in that last qualifying heat race, so he's got a little bit of work to do, but he's got a good starting position already, starting in that 3rd spot.
If anybody can make it happen, Parker Traves. He has been so successful here at Peterborough Speedway.
Traves good with the legend car anywhere, but Dawson Drimmy trying to play spoiler and take the championship away, but going to have some work to do. Green flag in the air, the 77 machine of Glenn Morris takes the jump, and around goes the 44 Jason Lake, the 31 Connor James. Not sure if he made the contact, but ultimately went up the racetrack to avoid, and that will draw our first caution.
Oh, message not yet delivered. Oh, that's Jason trying to catch up to the field.
Finally got that car refired. Took a little bit to get the 44 fired up once again. Connor James circling around. Looks like both those cars likely going to the tail of the field.
As you can see, if you're watching on screen, this lives up to the Autumn Colors name. A nice backdrop here this weekend. Beautiful day.
It didn't look this way early this morning, I can tell you that much.
It didn't look like that in the forecast. That's why I don't listen to weather people.
I'll wait 5 minutes, it'll change.
You got it.
I don't know how many times this year alone we have been forecasted with heavy rain. JP threw the dice on the craps table and said, let's go for it. And it paid off. We've only had a couple of rain delays and one rain out, I think.
And that's good for the racers, good for the race fans. It's not good for JP, right? When a racetrack promoter does that and takes that gamble, it's money out of their pocket because people will tend to stay home if there's a chance of it raining. But the racers will appreciate that, and they'll remember that.
Yeah.
And a campground full of people remember it too, because they showed up no matter what. And, there's nothing worse than camping in the rain. So a lot of them took a big risk coming out. And, I've seen what the parking lot and the campground can turn into with some rain. So,
well, when there's too much liquid, it can be a problem sometimes.
Yeah. All right, we'll try this one again. Field lined up. So it looks like we're going to get the 44 and the 31 their spots back. So it looks like it will be a complete restart. Everyone where they were lined up originally. Lights extinguished on the floor coverings International Peterborough Speedway pace truck. And we'll try this one again with a great Canadian RV green flag. So Morris on the inside, Tolton the outside. Morris, the 77, got the big jump when they came to the green flag last time. See if he can do it again. Dawson Jimmy wants him to do that so he can get going. Jimmy already looking to the inside of the 77. Has to back out. Took the nose to the inside before the start-finish line. So
3 wide, 1 and 2.
McFadden already working his way through the field. And here comes the 44 and the 31 working their way back up here. A little cleaner this time. He got 1 lap on the board, so that's good. But Jimmy out in front. Zach Latimer to second. Morris back to third. Jason Legg on the lapel in the 44 machine. Took a look to the inside of Morris. Didn't have enough of a run down the back straightaway. He'll do it again, this time off of 4 down the front straightaway. But here comes McFadden in the 300 machine. Rolling the high side of the racetrack. No fear up there, making that car work. And I believe that car new to McFadden this weekend. Still got the wrap-up from the previous owner on as he rolls the high side of the racetrack. Now falls in line behind the 44 Legg. Legg slides up the racetrack, little in 1 and 2. Not enough for that to happen, but Glenn Morris with a big push up the hill off of turn number 2. That's going to open the door for Legg and McFadden to roll through now. Legg not out of the woods yet as he's got a Nerf bar full of McFadden. McFadden moves the bottom of the racetrack. This time down to 1 and 2, side by side for third, down the back straightaway.
Cool story about McFadden. I was back in the pits earlier tonight, and he had a red number 4 car cover on it. That's from old Wavin' Willie.
No.
Do you remember Bill Mason?
I do. Wavin' Willie Mason.
Wavin' Willie Mason. And Willie's apparently going to be coming out next weekend to Cole McFadden's backyard junker race.
That sounds fun. Sign me up. But right now, they'll come to 1 to go this time by, I believe, at the line. Dawson Jimmy doing what he has to do out in front. The KOD disposal met Carpenter 66 machine. Able to distance himself from the 17Z of Zach Latimer. Final time off of 4. Checkered flag in the air. Jimmy going to pick up the win. Latimer for second. McFadden in third. Fourth will be Connor James. And Matt Boyes will round out the top 5.
Jason Legge in 6th. Glenn Morrison 7th in the 77. Keaton Pipe in the 25 and 8th. Joe Sherman in the 78S in 9th. In 10th is Anthony Einerson and Todd Tolton rounding off the field in 11th.
And just like that, the hometown boy going to go to victory lane here at the 30th annual APC Autumn Colors Classic. Makes the noise, ladies and gentlemen, down on victory lane, the 66 of Dawson Drimmy.
Boy, the officials' tower just suddenly filled up. All these important people come walking in.
Just like that.
Charlie, you said you have a radio to security, right? Just in case we need it.
I did. Security came and took it from me.
That's probably a wise choice on their part.
Now we got no communication security. We didn't put that one out well at all.
So Dave
All right,
Gainforth
we'll
has joined the party. Alex Nagy has joined the party. The gang's all here. So that can mean nothing else except we are about to go Oscar Hot Rod Racing. And we can see heat number 1 rolling onto the track now. Some cool looking race cars.
Here we go, JRS Auctions Heat Races with the Nightworks design. Oscar Hot Rod Series leading them off. The 00 machine out of Glen Allen, the 1971 Camaro. The Thompson Autotech, Bridgeland Terminals Limited. Elmira Harvey Swiss Chalet, Quench Buggy, Roll Roots Brewing, Elmira Auto Supply, Aston Tool and Machining, the 1971 Camaro of Trevor Thompson, 47 machine, former series champion out of Brantford, the 1960 Studebaker Hawk, the Lafarge Factory Mineral Services APC Auto Parts Center Ride of Steve Book, 0 machine out of Mount Forest, the 1966 Pontiac Parisienne for John's Towing is Bill Clark, 87 machine out of Trout Creek, the 1956 Ford Fairlane for Dan's Appliance Repair Cavan, and Junior's Tire North Bay, that is John Laval. Been a while since Laval's had that Ford Fairlane out. Good to see him back at the Series 13 machine. Had a Port Perry, the 1959 Pontiac Bonneville, the KCM Metals, Think Path Designs, Monkey Kelly's Eatery. Skoogog Transmission, Bromley Automotive 13 ride of Ryan Cowan. Then we'll go to the 6W machine. Feature winner this year, actually multi-time feature winner this year for the Series, and a winner last time out here at Peterborough Speedway with the Nightworks Designs Hot Rod Series. The former Peterborough Speedway late model track champion as well. In the 1972 Javelin, the Bromley Automotive Peterbilt Race Cars ride of the upgrade Rick Spencer Walt. 04 machine is Peterborough Speedway late model regular to Bethany, the Walker Motorsports, Napa Pine Ridge Oshawa, CDT Hydrovac, TP Contracting, Amsoil, Redstone Quarries, and Winghouse Omimi ride of Sean Walker, that beautiful Chevrolet Camaro. And the 09 machine making his return out of Pontypool, the original Hot Rod, the 1957 Chev. The Cochrane Automotive Land Tree Service, James Hill Farms, Inside Out Landscaping and Cleaning, Fast Oshawa High Hope Farms, and Central Ontario Spray Foam aboard the 09 of Cowboy Dan Price. And that is your lineup for JRS Auctions Heat Race number 1 for the Nightworks Designs Hot Rod Series.
Basically dug it out of the weeds, threw a race motor out of another car into it, and here he is.
Yeah, it's been lawn art for the last 5 years, just outside the shop. And about 3 weeks ago, he had an idea to bring it back to life. He took the motor out of the Dirt Modified and stuck it under the hood. And TikTok has showed me that he's had a chance to drive it around the farm. So survived practice this afternoon. So Cowboy Dan Price, the original Hot Rod. This car, a Thunder car from back in the Kawartha Speedway days, was the one of the inspirations behind the series. Running a Thunder car with a 1957 Chev body and. Back with the series, first time since 2018 for this car.
He ran that car here as a Thunder car as well for a long time.
Scored his first career feature win with that car here in the Thunder car or Super Stock division. And green flag in the air, 00 machine. And Trevor Thompson gets the jump. Book going to follow through to second. Side by side for third. Bill Clark on the bottom. Laval on the high side of the racetrack. Way up the racetrack that time through 3 and 4. That's going to open the door for Ryan Cowan down the bottom. Rick Spencer Walt going to make do with the bottom in the 6W machine. That Javelin looking to the inside of 13 of Cowan. This time down the back straightaway. Big power plant going to work under the hood of that Javelin. Going to move him up to the 4th spot. On the rear bumper, the Pontiac Parisienne of Bill Clark. The John's Towing ride. Up the hill goes the 0 machine. And here comes Rick Spencer Walt on the charge already up to the 3rd spot. They had issues this afternoon. They broke a lower ball joint on the left front of that car to open the 2nd round of practice. The team's had some work to do this afternoon to make sure the Bromley Automotive Peterbilt Race Cars 6 machine is good to go. But out front, Trevor Thompson flying in that 00 machine so far. The Bridgeland Terminals Limited Chevrolet Camaro. Cross flags in the air for him. 4 laps in, 4 to go.
Ryan Cowan moves up a spot in the 13 up to 4th, coming out of turn 4 as he got by Bill Clark in the 0.
That's a great battle going on, 4th on back. Trevor Thompson last month at Delaware Speedway, it didn't look all that quick. He didn't look like himself. Tonight, this looks like Trevor Thompson I've watched.
Yeah, former feature winner of the series out of Chicasa Motor Speedway. But he's one out of Delaware, that 00 machine rolling here tonight. and he's pulled away. Like Steve Book, almost a straightaway back now, and he's got to deal with the 6W of Rick Spencer Walt. Walt will be there as the white flag comes out. Battle is on for second. Here comes that AMC Javelin. Walt looking to the high side, going to try for the crossover move. Book sees it coming, moves to the bottom of the racetrack to block the lane off at 2. Walt going to go to the high side, and in 3 and 4, it's going to be Trevor Thompson's race to win. But off of 4, the battle is for second. Book going to hold on to it. Rick Spencer Walt in 3rd. Ryan Cowan with the big old Bonneville going to come home in the 4th spot. And Laval, return to the series, will round out the top 5 in the Ford Fairlane.
You know what I really appreciated on that last lap? Steve Book knew Rick Spencer Walt's coming and he's faster. And he defended the bottom of the track. He didn't block. Like Rick Spencer Walt had the whole outside to work with. That's what I love about Steve Book's style of racing. Blocking is moving up and down, all over the track and make. But if you want to make life difficult, say go ahead and pass me, but you're going to do it the long way. That was a tactical move there by Steve Book. Fun things to watch.
Down to Victory Lane, though. The Thompson Auto Tech Bridgeland Terminals Limited. Elmira Harvey Swiss Chalet, Quench Buggy Roll Roots Brewing. Elmira Auto Supply Aston. Tool and Machine. 00 Machine. Put your hands together. Your Heat 1 winner, Trevor Thompson. And Peterborough really it lends itself to that run. You see what Walt did. He moved to the high side. He tried the crossover move. Off of 2, you got a little bit more to work with the exit of pit road, and that's one of those that Book knew was coming. He knew where Walt was going. He made sure that car rotated, and he covered the bottom of the racetrack and didn't leave any daylight down there.
And you slow down. Like Book didn't go as fast as you would off of 2, so he could keep the car on the bottom and just limit Walt's options.
JRMS Auctions qualifying heat race number 2 rolling onto the track. 31 Machine pulling W this weekend, driving the 1966 Ford Thunderbird. The Bromley Automotive Peterbilt race cars ride out of Hawkins Corner. It's AJ Ems. Ems will be behind the wheel of his familiar number 14 modified with the Just Foam with Oscar modified series. They'll start qualifying tomorrow afternoon. It's outside in the new mount. That is Connor Ellis driving the Ford Fairlane now. And then out at Delaware Speedway last time out with the series, basically destroyed the Chevelle that he had. That's an easy way to put it after looking at that car up close. The position specialized wildsprinting.com, Tracy Ellis, PC 275 Realty, CTE Repair, Matingo Welding and Fabrication, RKF Paralegal, and Redline Chevelle Parts aboard the ride of Connor Ellis. 71 Machine making a second career Hot Rod Series start. 2023 Sunset Speedway Super Stock Track Champion, 2023 Ontario Sportsman Series Champion. The 1972 Dodge Dart out of Hanover, the Strike Energy Systems, 2 Northwoods, Elevated Workplace Safety, CM Precision Machine and Welding, Caldecott Mill Race Services, Come Clean Laundry Uniform, Epic Racewear, Nickel Insurance Brokers, Schnurr Race Products, Inventraps.ca, and Dave's Auto Body Ride of Corey McAllister. 38 Machine, it's Brandon Feeney driving the 1971 Dodge Dart, filling in for Art Hot Dog Rogers this weekend. 47 Machine, 31-time champion across the province of Ontario now with a Hot Rod Championship out at Sunset Speedway this year. Driving the Limitless Liners, B&B Towing, Cathcart Trucking, Redline Science Apparel, 1966 Rambler Ambassador, it's Stompin' Tom Walters at Stroud. 88 Machinist J-Mac Jeremy McLean, driving the 1968 Chevelle out of North Bay, the TSS Top Shops ride. Then it will be the 6th Machine of Rob Bromley, the Bromley Automotive Peterbilt Race Cars, 1971 Dodge Challenger, and the 06 Machine, that'll be Kyle Woods, driving the Packard.
Lights are out on the Floor Coverings International Pace Truck. It'll dip down on the infield this time by.
AJM's back behind the wheel of that Ford Thunderbird. I believe he was behind that wheel of that car last year at the Autumn Colors Classic. So see if he's learned anything. That's the car Rick Spencer Walt took to victory lane here earlier this year at Peterborough Speedway. They come to the Great Canadian RV green flag off at turn number 4. M's going to take the jump. Ellis on the high side of the racetrack. McAllister now looking at the bottom of the 71 Machine. Here comes the 47 to Stompin' Tom Walters. Bromley working to the inside of Feeney, the 38 Machine, up to the 5th spot now. M's trying to run away with things. McAllister up the hill a little. Walters unable to take advantage. Walters looking high, looking low, trying to find a way past the 71 of McAllister. McAllister staying tight to the bottom side of the racetrack, moves up the hill, this time down into 1. Here comes the B&B Towing, Limitless Liners, 47 Machine, Stompin' Tom Walters side by side for second. Walters multi-time Autumn Colors Classic champion Now up to the second spot. Here comes Rob Bromley in that Challenger, working to the inside of the 71. A little bit of contact between McAllister and Bromley that time down into turn number 1. Drag race down the back straightaway. And it won't be much of one with the big horsepower under the hood of the Bromley Automotive 6 machine. McAllister not happy with the 6. He gives him a shot that time in 3 and 4. He's got some damage to the front bumper of that Dodge Dart, but AJM's smooth sailing out in front in that Ford Thunderbird, just past the halfway point in this one. Connor Ellis riding at the top 5 in that Ford Fairlane. Picked that car up off Keenan Bilzeal within the last week. And has now got that car turned around, trying to figure out a new-to-him car here at the Autumn Colors Classic. 2 laps to go for AJM's out in front.
Tom Walters struggled in turn 2 last lap. Same here. He can't keep that car on the bottom of the track, but it's just the exit of turn 2. He's better in 4.
And here comes Bromley now, pushes up the hill. Seen Bromley had a look to the inside. Walters just moved up. Not going to push the issue too much here. Side by side, Bromley though with that big horsepower under the hood of that Dodge Challenger. Down the back straightaway off a 4 checkered flag in the air. AJM's going to pick up the win. Rob Bromley going to come through to second. Walters going to hold on to third. McAllister in fourth. And Connor Ellis will round out the top 5.
Jeremy McLean in the 88 finishes 6th, and 7th is Kyle Wood in the 06. Rounding off the field, the 38 of Brandon Feeney, finishing 8th.
McAllister pulling up alongside Bromley. Not too happy with how he was raced by Rob Bromley.
There must have been something before Bromley got to the inside of McAllister, because he was all the way up the inside of him. And McAllister was trying to close the door into one, so maybe there was something that we didn't see at the start of that race. But I can tell you I'm looking forward to the next round of heats.
It's going to be interesting, that's for sure. But pulling down to victory lane, driving the Bromley Automotive, Peterborough Race Cars. Number 31 machine, put your hands together for AJM's. And that will get us ready for JR's. Is that one, Heat 2? If I lost track already.
That's Heat 2.
That was Heat 2, all right. Now, this is one I'm looking forward to seeing. The first ever hot rod truck.
I noticed that in the pits, and that is my favorite hot rod out there right now.
The 1969 Chevy C10 named Sweet Pea.
My very first vehicle was a Chevy C10 1969, 3 in the tree.
That has my 1981 Chevette beat by a hair.
I wouldn't even tell you what mine was. It's nowhere near anything as cool as either of those. So,
327 was the engine.
That's pretty cool. You must be really old.
Well, it was our farm mechanic's truck, and Dad bought him a new truck, and so I inherited that as my senior year high school truck to take to school every day.
I was going to ask, how old were you when you were told you would have that truck?
I was 17 years old.
Oh, because I was 15 when I bought my Chevette, but I couldn't pass up the offer. But back in those days, I find young people had cars before they could drive them.
Well, I drove before I had a license.
If you were on a farm, I can. Yep. Sorry, Brendan.
I think the statute of limitations has expired on that.
It's all good. I don't have anywhere near as cool experiences. I just stand here quietly. A 2002 Chevy Malibu. Not anything cool for your first car. Leading them off, though, the very cool Chevy C10 named Sweet Pea, the McNichol Welding and Fabrication. Maverick Real Estate Jennifer Hatch ride. That is Kenny McNichol Jr. aboard the 17M2 machine, a multi-time series champion and current points leader out of Ormondotti, the 1966 Pontiac Beaumont, the Fox Bakery and Deli Tire Depot, Hahn Motor and Chassis Works ride of the Kodiak Tyler Hahn. Then it'll be the 17M machine, the one-man gang out of Bolton, the 1969 Chevelle for the Foster's Motorsport 100.ca Genco equipment ride of Matt Spry. And then it'll be the 20 machine, former Oscar Modified Series champion, former Barrie Speedway Thundercar track champion, a top rod driver extraordinaire, Big Luke Janak out of Port McNichol, the Bad Rank Construction, Fox's Bakery and Deli, 1964 Ford Polara. The 66 machine, that is Rob Kuzma, the 1966 Ford Galaxy, the Todd Delisle Racing, Cozy Home Heating and Cooling, Moyles Excavating Ride. 93 machine is Jerry Broom out of Exeter. The Camaro Depot London Drive Systems NC Jones & Sons ride. 86 machine out of Teeswater. That is Nick Clark. The 1969 Ford Mustang for John's Towing Mount Forest. Bud's Hydraulics and Brady Cox Photography. And rounding out the field, the 70 machine. That is Nathan Detweiler driving the Studebaker. The Ensign from Howell Turn 1 Sim Lounge of Guelph ride. Here we go. The next qualifying heat race underway for the Nightworks Designs Hot Rods JRS Auction Heat Race number 3. Side by side, down 1 and 2. Hahn working on the high side of the racetrack. McNichol with a big slide down the bottom of the racetrack, able to get that truck pointed the right direction. Got to make sure making that adjustment very quickly here on the fly. That truck in a field of cars, so able to hold on to third after that one. Janak up to second now. And the 66 of Kuzno and Jerry Broom going at it. That's for the 5th spot. Kuzno debuting that Ford Galaxy here this weekend. An old Delaware late model. I inquired about it because I always got to know where these cars come from. So they spent some time this year getting that car together and bringing it out here to the Autumn Colors Classic. A beautiful paint job on it as well. And right now trying not to put any marks on it as he's side by side with Jerry Broom in the Camaro. Nick Clark looking for room to work in the 86 machine. Kuzno now gets clear up to the 5th spot. Here comes Nick Clark, the 86 machine. Trying to work his way towards the top 5. Jerry Broom is sliding in line behind him. Tyler Hahn running away with this one. The multi-time winner here, Peterborough Speedway, current points leader with the Nightworks Hot Rods, looking for another JRS Auctions heat win. Kenny McNichol doing very well, driving that C10. That's just a super stock. His old Delaware super stock he's put the body on. So out here in a CL8 models is the super stock holding its own here in JRS Auctions heat race number 3. The one-man gang, Matt Spry, runs in the 4th spot currently, the 1-800-DRIVEWELL.ca ride. Doing a good job, white flag in the air for Hahn though. Not as much action in this one. He kind of got sorted out there fairly quick, and Hahn just doing what he does best, and that's go very fast.
For the classic car aficionados, this is how they like it. When they see dents get put into some of these race cars, there's tears in the eyes.
So Hahn going to pick up the win. Janak for second, McNichol in third. And at the line, Kuzno, I believe, will nip Spry. Kuzno not having a transponder, so that not getting picked up, but the eye test said it was the 66, or he did have a transponder. It stopped working after lap 2. That'll do that. That's why you stopped showing up on the scoring.
So Nick Clark in the 86, Jerry Broom in the 93, and Nathan Detweiler finishing off the field, 5, 6, and 7. Or, pardon me, 6, 7, and 8.
So pulling down into victory lane. The Fox's Bakery and Deli Tire Depot, Hahn Motor and Chassis Works, number 2 machine. Put your hands together for the Kodiak, Tyler Hahn.
Great turnout of hot rods. Talking to Alex Nagy there as you were introducing them, and he said there are going to be some changes to the rules to allow for that pickup truck. Right now it doesn't fit into the scope of the rules, but it will by next season. Mini stocks coming out onto the track now.
Just before we can't be wrong. Yeah, Janak.
A diverse looking field of cars here. I see cars from obviously Peterborough, Flamborough, a couple of Sunset cars out there. It's the fun thing about these divisions when you got common rules and they can all come together.
Yeah, Full Throttle Motor Speedway being represented out here as well. So a great mix of mini stocks. I've yet to get an official count. I stopped trying to count a long time ago on. People kept asking me all day as I'm walking through the pits, what's the car count like? And I'm like, I don't know, there's a lot.
A lot. Yeah, as you walk through the backfield, it's just a lot.
Yeah, when I'm doing my rosters, like I know who I have and I know who I don't have. And who I don't have is what I care about. So,
all right, starting off with the pole position, and the number 1 car is Bob Finnemore out of Innisfil, Ontario, in the Boss Welding and Fabrication, Tab and Lumber and Trusses, LJ Services, Mac Langberger Station, Blade Cutters, and Canadian Equipment Outfitters. And on his outside, his teammate Chandler Boss out of Innisfil, Ontario, in the Boss Welding and Fabrication, Tarpon Lumber and Trusses, LJ Services, Mac Lang, Burger Station, Blade Cutters, and Canadian Equipment Outfitters. In row number 2 is the 10G of Will Gibbons. In the Norm's Fast Lube, Will M's Trailer Repair, GC Equestrian, and Speedy Auto Machine. On his outside is the 84 of Rob Crick and the Daddy-Daughter Racing Team out of Ajax, Ontario. In the Lakeside Mobile Tires Daddy-Daughter Racing, Canadian T-Air Systems, Swift Hoist Services, Eagle Auto Glass, and Sign Design by Whitby. Number 3 out of Orono, Ontario is the number 28 of Dylan Wills. In the Quick Sign, Nelly's Creation, Napa Pine Ridge, TTR Transport, Dwyer Roofing, Titan HVAC, Shrimp Cocktail. On his outside is the 83 of Bob Stewart out of Moorfield, Ontario. In row 4 is Carl Salt in the A&A Discount Auto Parts. And then on his outside, the 46X of Wade Thorne. In BT Racing, 2-Speed Motorsports, Urie's Tire and Auto, Jim's Finish Line, Auto Trans, and Jibs. Dan Demir is unable to make the call for row number 5, so that'll put Nolan Gould in the 28G on the inside of row 5 out of Wooddawn, Ontario. In the Babbins Auto Bear Resident Racing sponsored ride. Yeah, he'll be starting at the back of the pack.
That'll be one to watch. Your 2023 Peterborough Speedway Mini Stock Track Champion. Starting shotgun on the field out back. See what he can do, working his way up through the field here. Going to have 8 laps again. Not a lot of time. And the one I'm kind of keeping my eyes on is row number 2, the 10 machine of Will Gibbons. It's been a while since he's been here at the Autumn Colors Classic. That Honda CRX fast everywhere he goes. So lights are extinguished on the Floor Coverings International. Peterborough Speedway pace truck will hit pit road this time. Daytona Bob Finnemore and Chandler Boss going to lead the field to green off of turn number 4. Grandfather and grandson looking to take the Great Canadian RV green flag off of 4. And we are racing with the mini stocks here at the 30th annual APC Autumn Colors Classic presented by Toronto Motorama. Side by side for the top spot down through 1 and 2. Chandler Boss going to get the run on the high side, get the nose out in front, and they get into 3 and 4. Daytona Bob trying to fire back from the bottom side of the racetrack. Chandler Boss way up the hill that time, 3 and 4. That's going to cost him. See if he slides in line. He does not.
Carl Salt got a little bit loose there in turn number 3 last time around. Here comes Nolan Gould as he's knocking on the back door of the top 5.
Already picked off 3 cars here in the first 2 laps. Looking for a few more. Carl Salt making move the inside of Gibbons. Gibbons struggling with that speedy auto machine. Norm's Fast Loop number 10 ride. He's looking to fall back to the 5th spot here as Carl Salt works past him. Now Nolan Gould, Chandler Boss working the inside of Bob Finnemore. Finnemore up the hill for the top spot. Going to slide back to 2nd now. Boss out in front. The Mac Lang Sunridge. Canadian Equipment Outfitters ride now out in front. Salt has already caught Finnemore for the 2nd spot. Looking to his inside, this time down into 3 and 4. Finnemore kind of sort of going to slam the door, but not really. Run in the middle of the racetrack, that time for 3 and 4. Leaving the option there, but Salt unable to take advantage. Finnemore got that Chevrolet Cobalt wound up on the high side of the racetrack. Here comes Nolan Gould looking to make it 3 wide down the back straightaway. He'll thread the needle and get past Carl Salt and Finnemore down through 3 and 4, and now up to the 2nd spot. The Ballins Auto Service ride of your 2023 Peterborough Speedway Track Champion march his way to the front of the field. Now the question will be, will he run out of laps? He tries to run down the 22 at Chandler Boss. They'll come to popsicle 6 at the line, this time by 2 laps to go for the 22 machine out in front. As they go down the back straightaway. Gould unable to really close the gap. About a 4-car length gap so far. White flag in the air for Chandler Boss, the 22 machine. Gould, though, from the tail of the field up to 2nd. That's going to be a good run for him. And the good news for him, the next qualifying heat race, he's going to start on the front row. After starting on back of this one, checkered flag in the air. Chandler Boss going to pick up the win. Gould for 2nd, Salt in 3rd, Thorne in 4th. And it'll be Finnemore rounding out the top 5.
84 of Rob Crick finishing in 6th spot. In 7th is Dylan Wills in the 28. Will Gibbons in the 10G finishes off in 8th. And Bob Stewart running off the field with the 83 in 9th spot.
You can see there is no room for error out there with these cars. You bobble, you are losing spots.
You bobble, you can lose 2 spots.
It doesn't take much here at Peterborough Speedway. Pulling down into Victory Lane, no, the 22 machine, the Tarpon Lumber and Trust, Mac Lang Sunridge, Burger Station, Kells Garden City, Canadian Equipment Outfitter, CD Excavating, Blade Cutters, Property Service. Number 22 machine makes a noise for Chandler Boss. Crowd goes wild, 30,000 strong.
We left out Sauble Speedway. Will Gibbons representing Sauble Speedway. So pretty much all of them.
Well, he's from Owenstown. I don't know. See, that's like that combined 4 thing. I don't know. It's not really.
It needs, yeah.
Your time is not a mini stock. You're not a true mini stock, I think. Like, you got to detune it. You're not.
I don't love the class, like the 8s, but I love the cars that it's brought out of retirement.
I mean, that's the big thing. If you're getting cars to the racetrack, that's the important part.
So keep tweaking, keep working, keep twisting the knobs, because seeing cars that have been mothballed, even seeing Cowboy Dan Price out here with that car, I mean, everything Dan does is a bit of a story.
There's still rust on the car from it sitting in the field for 5 years.
There's no rust on the driver, though. He keeps himself pretty busy.
All right. The qualifying heat for the switch tire mini stocks out on the field. Starting off in the pole position in the number 80 is Coleridge Finnemore out of Innisfil, Ontario, in the flashover window fashions Vestacon, TKO Renovations, Lake House Property Maintenance, Mikey Network, Speed Pro, Gas Tank Renew Limited, and Cookstown Burger Station. On his outside, in the number 10 is Doug Butler out of Glencairn, Ontario, in the Highway 90 Signs, RSA Auto, LCDC Color and Coatings Incorporated, Northern Construction, and TSS Top Shops. Carol Ducky Dawson is in the inside of row number 2 in the Plasti Glass, KP's Auto, Kawartha Doodles, HP Cycle, Pete Hamilton Auto, and Moet Vinyl. On her outside is Roppy Sykes out of Barrie, Ontario, in the Lloyd's Haulage, Mapleview Tire, RS Construction, and DKG Racing. In row number 3 is Tyler Croft in the Goat Transport, Sign Hub, Taunton Tire, and Big Boy Burgers. On his outside is the 88W of Ryder White in the Luscious Bakery, Happy Spot, SMC Contracting, Putterama, NP Roofing, Canadian Tire, Orangeville, Bridge North Deli, and Jack and Jill Surf Shop. Sponsored ride. The number 89B is Ryan Babin, but he's going to run scratch apparently tonight, so he's at the back of the pack in the Babin's Automotive Repair. That'll put Chris Inglis out of Coldwater, Ontario, in the Lloyd Haulage Mapleview Tire, Barrie Standout Auto Glass Aurelia, and Dave Wiggins Exhaust sponsored ride. Tiffany Vanderbilt is on Chris Ingles' outside out of Newcastle, Ontario. Dave Dipple out of Drayton, Ontario, is on the inside of row number 5 beside Ryan Babin.
And just like that, lights are extinguished on the floor covering International Peterborough Speedway pace truck. And we get set to fire off. Coleridge Finnemore, the inside, the multi-time Autumn Colors Classic champion, and Doug Butler, the outside. Getting set to fire off a turn at number 4, coming to the Great Canadian RV green flag, number 2. With the switch tire mini stocks, green flag in the air. Even towards turn number 1. Butler with the advantage on the high side, though, as we race through 1 and 2. Finnemore trying to fire back on the bottom side of the racetrack. Butler gets loose, has to catch that car on the high side. Does a great job of saving that car from coming down the hill. Still side by side for the top spot. Butler using all the racetrack all the way up to the wall that time, off of turn number 4. Field clear, Finnemore down in turn number 1. See if he can keep that momentum mark down the back straightaway off of turn 2. And he will do so. Clearing the 80 machine. Here comes Ryder White. The inside of Ruthless Robbie Sykes for the 52 machine. Ryder White scored a win in the non-winners race at Sunset Speedway back at our Velocity weekend there on the Friday night. And he's looking pretty sporty with no fear going up to the high side of the racetrack, the outside of Coleridge Finnemore, a pair of Honda Civics going at it for the second spot.
Robbie Sykes waiting to pounce if somebody makes a mistake on the...
And there it was.
There it was.
Ryder White got loose up in the marbles there off of turn 2. Did a great job keeping that car off the outside wall. Cross ice in the air there for Doug Butler. 4 laps in, 4 to go. With the mini stocks, every position matters. With the amount of cars we have, there's a good chance there might be a B main. So everyone's trying to fight for every position they can, working their way forward. With Ryan Babin, he started and pulled off the racetrack, no longer out there. So
yeah, I am showing him down 2 laps, so Ryan Babin has gone off. He did have a problem on that very first lap where he was up running really strong on the outside wall on the backstretch and then suddenly dropped right off.
Breaking another new car out on colors does have its issues at times. Ryder White able to get back past Ruthless Robbie Sykes in the 52 machine. Standout autoglass ride back to fourth. White flag in the air for Doug Butler. The RSA Auto Parts LCDC Colors and Coatings ride. The Nissan 240 SX looking strong so far. Coleridge Fenimore doing a great job holding on to the second spot. White trying to make one last run to the high side of the racetrack. Butler going to pick up the win. Into 3, Bell is on for second. Coleridge Fenimore able to hold off Ryder White. Robbie Sykes come home in fourth, and Tyler Croft will round out the top 5.
Chris English finishing in 6th spot in the 57. The 18 of Dave Dapel finishing 7th. Tiffany Vanderbilt finishing 8th in the 88. And the 38 of Carol Ducky Dawson finishing 9th. Robbie Babin with a DNF in the 89B.
How does a driver get the nickname Ducky?
Because she has a lot of little rubber ducks around the car.
Okay.
She's had that name for ever since she started racing here at Peterborough Speedway. So.
Now, I drove a pure stock last weekend named Ducky. I don't know if it's here this week or not, one of the Chris Lawrence machines.
Down to Victory Lane, the Highway 90 signs, LTDC Color and Coating, CSS Top Shots, RC Auto Parts, Northern Construction, number 10 machine. Put your hands together for Doug Butler.
As we were talking about, lots of mini stocks. Mini stock qualifying heat number 3 up on deck. Starting off in the pole position, the number 76 out of Burlington, Ontario, Sean Taylor in that BW Haggard Crane Rentals, GM Electric, Kangaroo Trailers, Welsh Meadow, Balland Wellness, and Toronto Injectors sponsored ride. Matt Young out of Troy, Ontario in the Blue Street Contracting, number 7 is on the outside of the front row. On the inside of the second row, with the West Valley Automotive, Blue Street Contracting, Shed in a Day, Claybar Contracting, Rangeview Fabricating, and Rockton Berry Farm is the number 2 of Bobby Mercer. Out of Londesboro, Ontario, in the MGM Townsend Tire, Radar Auto Parts, Asher or ASHR Media Group is Ryan Edward Kiss, the number 20. Inside row number 3 out of Newcastle, Ontario, in the B&W Enterprises, Harley Consulting, Easton Cap Sales, and Elite Truck and Trailer Repairs, the number 46 of Tyler McMurder. Out of Georgetown, Ontario, in the Autotech McMillan Motorsports, number 27 is Jacob Sutcliffe. In row number 4 out of Norwood, Ontario, in the Lakeside Mobile Tire Team, Vanaran Century 21, Howe Electric Services, Tony J. Bowen Investors Group is the 88M of Chris Tubman. On his outside, in the number 16, Tatter Shoes, Butcher and Banner Fontville, Speed Composites, and the Nutty Neighbors is the number 16 of Mike Thompson. Rounding off the field in the Up and Down Lifting Solutions, Eagle Street Industrial Park, Zoot Eatery Cambridge, Superior Boils Works and Welding, Sarens, The Gardener, Waterloo Region, J. Raps, Dennis Goodfellow, and Tri Crane, the number 12 of Roland Goodfellow.
Don't think Goodfellow made the call, but everybody else looks to be on track and ready to rumble. I love the Matt Young number 7. The only car in the field that could be going backwards or forwards, and you'd have a hard time telling.
I every time I see it, I just try to figure out what it is, and I still have yet to figure that out.
Nope. Something, it's like a piece of artwork. It's up to interpretation. Everybody sees it a little bit different.
Hey, if he spins around and ends up going backwards, it won't throw a caution flag because we won't know the difference.
Find reverse and hammer down.
Well, we'll see what he can do from outside the front row, but Sean Taylor's going to be one, a tough one to have starting on your inside, especially on the front row. The Kangaroo Trailers GM Electric, BW Hager Crane Rentals ride has been fast everywhere he's unloaded this year. In his limited pavement starts, he's getting a lot of starts out on the dirt at Oshweekend now.
He's doing both and doing pretty darn well.
Floor Coverings International, Peterborough Speedway Pace Truck, his pit row, Great Canadian RV, green flag, heat number 3 for the mini stock, set to fire off here, and Taylor gets that jump cut from the gearbox. Bobby Mercer looking to follow through down the bottom side of the racetrack. He'll do so, getting clear. Matt Young off the 2 and down the back straight away. Nissan 240 SX out in front. Here comes McMurder into the back of the 7 machine of Young. He gets sideways. Sutcliffe falls to the back of the tail of the field after getting too high that time at 3 and 4. Jacob Sutcliffe, 27 machine. Spring Blossom winner at Sunset this year. That was on for the 3rd spot though. Ryan Edward Kittsburg on the high side of the racetrack. Matt Young down low. And Sean Taylor has company up front. Bobby Mercer has not allowed that 76 car to get away quite yet. So racing all over the racetrack here.
So the Matt Young number 7, it's not going to win a lot of beauty awards, that car, but it's got speed.
Got speed, and Ryan Everett just looked for the crossover and wasn't able to make that work that time off the turn number 4 as Young got clear, but Young going to catch the curb and slide up the hill that time in 1 and 2. And that's going to open the door for the Honda. The Radar Auto Parts Ryan Edward Kiss coming up to the 3rd spot. Cross lights in the air, 4 laps in. 4 to go for Sean Taylor at the front of the field, but the battle is 3rd, 4th, 5th, all nose to tail.
Ryan Edward Kiss has been very quick when he raced here earlier this season for a couple of races, and he knows this track by now.
Yeah, true definition of an outlaw. He kind of picks and chooses where he wants to go, when he wants to go. He's unloaded at Sunset. He unloads out here at Peterborough. Just kind of picks and chooses throughout the year where he wants to take that Honda Civic. Doesn't make any commitments to what he's doing, but he's fast at every track he unloads that.
Mike Thompson in that 16, he's looking to do it the hard way. There's nothing on the inside for him, so he's pointing that car to the high side, trying to cross over. One of these laps, he might just leave it on the outside and see how far he can get.
White flag is out for Sean Taylor, though. Smooth sailing out in front. Mike Thompson all over the rear bumper of the 88 machine, and Chris Tubman. Now he'll look to the high side of the racetrack, maybe going to try that crossover. Nope, keeps it up there, but loses some ground. The 88 checkered flag in the air. Sean Taylor can pick up the win. Mercer for 2nd, Ryan Edward Kiss in 3rd, Young 4th, and Tubman will round out the top 5.
Mike Thompson in the 16 finishing 6th, the 46 of Tyler McMurder finishing 7th, and Jacob Sutcliffe rounding off the field in 8th.
Super competitive class out here. Always is. And it's funny what divisions get hot at different times. The mini stocks, I think, had a little bit of a lull, but the specials this year have been, I mean, you guys ran a phenomenal show down at Sunset this season that I think had the biggest car count of any mini stock race this year. But there's been a few races that really drew, when it draws people from everywhere, you know you've got a good special.
Yeah. And frankly, the mini stock class is just, it is so competitive. These guys are, there's a lot of race knowledge that spreads amongst that class, and you've got some gurus that just come up with some magic every time they come out.
Yeah, I mean, you look at a guy like Doug Butler. I mean, he's been in the mini stock division now for like a decade and a half. You know, Doug started in like 2007, 2008, and, you know, Barrie Track Championship, Sunset Track Championship. He's won races at every track in the province. He's unloaded out. He's a multi-time Autumn Colors Classic champion. But, you know, he's kind of stayed the course, and it's, you know, one of those guys that has to stay on top of it. I mean, mini stock's never changing game. Somebody finds the, you know, the new mouse trap that comes out that's quicker, and, you know, sometimes you got to stay on top of it. So it's very hard to do with the mini stocks and the way things change.
Now it's time for the battlefield. Oh. My mistake.
Jiffy Lube Super Stocks taken to the track, leading them off number 12 machine out of Grimsby. The Glen Stars Racing JSL Electric Academy Construction Ride. That is Ryan Lasovich. It's outside the 36 machine out of Brampton. A former Quick Series champion, the best for Ford products, Leslie Ford Motors, Alrex Back Homing and Haulage. Badger Daylight, Shelby Roofing, RMP Welding and Fabricating Ride. Up the Thrill Billy Lane Zardo out of Brampton. 07 machine. The Century Mason Construction's Bulldog Southern Auto Parts. 12 gauge Homing and Recovering. Highway 9 Collision Center 07 machine of Dan Archibald. 15 machine is Rob Richards, the Nadius Collision Center. Chevrolet Monte Carlo. 30 machine. Former Autumn Colors Classic champion Ad Valen for the Elmer's Fighting Supply. Shepherd Docks Auto Trim Design of Barrie. Richards Auto Service. Ron Pring Electric. Highway 400 Transmission. Shellswell Racing Ride of Hard Body Todd Davenport. 42 machine out of Barrie. He's your 2023 Quick Whip TQ Can-Am Midget Series champion. Driving the Han Motor and Chassis Works Flamborough Machine Shop. Tire Depot, FCR Fabricating 42 machine. It's the Golden Boy Daniel Hahn. 26 machine making a super stock debut. A multi-time feature winner this year in the bone stock division, a former Sunset Speedway bone stock track champion out of Venezuela, the Big Brian and Sons Towing Centre, Mason Construction, JVS Landscaping, Auto Trim Design, a Barry 26 machine. It's the Dreadnought Jacob Booth 63 machine out of Guelph. The Fox's Bakery and Deli, Source Equipment, DJD Graphics, BW Towing, House Automotive, Morrison Climate Control, Northern Meats, Double B Automotive, Hemp Guru, Paul House Associates, Epic Racer, Streamline Race Products, 63 machine of former Sunset Speedway Superstock Track champion, the 905 Customs Weight Free Speed Down the Sun's Windows and Doors, and Ford Transmission Ride of Garrett Tamirsma. So that is qualifying heat race number 1 for the Jiffy Lube Superstocks, part of the 30th annual APC Autumn Colors Classic presented by Toronto Motorama.
It's a good-looking heat race. Front to back, got some fast talent. Good to see Ryden Lapsevich back behind the wheel. They've been hit and miss with the events they've run this season.
And not always with Ryden behind the wheel.
No, exactly.
Caden's taking a turn. I think Trayton hasn't yet, but he's been a little busy.
Yeah, Trayton's had things on the go.
Just, Pinty Series Championship, something like that. Just a little bit to fill the schedule. Floor Coverings International, Peterborough Speedway Pace Truck hits pit road. Jiffy Lube Superstock set to fire off. Great Canadian RV green flag set to fly off a turn number 4, racing with the Superstocks. And Zardo putting that forward power plant to work. He'll get the jump. Archibald making quick work of Lapsevich. He'll move to the inside. Here comes hard body Todd Davenport. Trouble for Rob Richards. The Natives collision center 15 machine. Exit stage right off of turn number 1 and heads back to the pit area. Sparks flying off the Century Macy Construction 07 machine is Archibald. He's down over the curve to 3 and 4. Here comes Davenport. The Elmer Sliding Supply 30 machine. Getting aggressive. All over the rim of the 07, a little bit of contact there, loosens Archibald up, down into 3 and 4. Where's Archibald going to go up the racetrack? Opens the door, Davenport 6 and 0's in there, side by side for second now. Lapsevich has the 4th spot, Jacob Booth behind him, Garrett Tamirsma for the tail of the field trying to work his way forward. There goes Davenport now to the 2nd spot, Archibald back to 3rd. Lapsevich holds 4th right now, Jacob Booth to look to the inside. The Big Brian and Sons Towing 26 machine, looking high, looking low in his Superstock debut, and I can tell you he's one-handed on the wheel, one hand on the roll bar, rolling that Superstock around the racetrack. But Zardo out in front, the Vestas Forest Products, Leslie Ford Motors, Bad Fast Ford Mustang. You'll see the cross flags near this time by 4 laps in, 4 to go.
I would like to see that original start again. How the heck was Archibald up alongside? Where did he come from?
I believe what happened, Lapsevich got loose, moved up the hill with Zardo, and that opened the door on the bottom. And Archibald doesn't need an invitation when the door's open, I'll tell you that much.
Archibald did start on the inside line in row number 2,
so if he just drove straight, if Lapsevich did go up, okay, that makes sense.
I'll say this though, some of the fastest laps of the race right now coming for Todd Davenport. And Zardo has picked the pace up a little bit, but still not enough. Davenport, though, running out of laps to try to run down the 36 machine. Gord Shepard's been predominantly behind the wheel of the 30 car this year. Has a feature win with that car out of Sunset Speedway. And Davenport claimed retired, but was told the car was coming and he better be here. So hard body back behind the wheel of the 30 machine, but Zardo going to pick up the heat win into 3 off of 4. Checkered flag in the air. Zardo with the win. Davenport for 2nd. Archibald in 3rd. Lapsevich 4th. And Booth going to round out the top 5 in his Superstock debut heat race.
Well, there you have it. Lane Zardo having his way with that one. But Davenport lightning quick. Like you say, I don't think Davenport ran 5 races this year.
No, he for sure has not. So for him to be able to jump back in the car and look that good, that's going to be a worry to some of these drivers come Sunday afternoon. But right now, down in Victory Lane, driver of the Vestas Forest Products, Leslie Ford Motors, Al Reichs, Back Home and Haulage, Badger Daylighting, Shelby Roofing, RMP Welding and Fabricating. Put your hands together for the 36th machine of the Thrillbilly, Lane Zardo.
Lane had a good run in the family late model last weekend at Flamborough Speedway. I believe it was a top 3 run in the Rivesdale Triple Crown there. I'm not sure. Kyle Steckley won it, but
after that, the points get a little jumbled. It's hard to track after 3 races.
And nobody remembers. But he was running with barely a mark on that car at the end of the 3rd race. That is not easy to do.
And I mean, they didn't have much work to do for Billy this week to get the car here, so made them very happy. Lead them on the 88 machine. The Michelle's Topsoil, Ideal Supply, Napa Auto Parts, Greenview Graphics Ride. Former Chase for Colors winner here at Peterborough Speedway and a multi-time Sunset Speedway track champion is the Czech Casher Herb Walters. 08 machine, Peterborough Speedway regular, the Alma Mechanical, Mark Rainford Auto Center, Crown Whitby, Port Perry Salvage, Bounty Roofing, Rona Port, Hope Ride of Paul Bounty. 6 machine, that would be Brad Laval, the Dan Scrap, or Dan Appliance Repair, Norwood Auto Wreckers, Mr. Transmission Peterborough, and Kingsway Auto Center ride. Started here about midway through the season at Peterborough Speedway, getting back behind the wheel of Superstock. 29 machine out of North Bay, the Humberview Parts.ca Action Utility Trailers, Redline Signs, Apparel ride with the Kevin Harvick throwback. It's Paul Pepper. 21 machine, that is Marley Owen, Peterborough Speedway feature winner this year, the Arbrook and Tree Service, Jim's Auto Repair, Stewart's Equipment, Curtis Septic, Custom Mobile Wash, Peterborough City Dairy. 21 machine. And then we'll go to the 96 machine of Donovan Price, the Durham Mai Tai, Racing Cards.ca, Wild Sprinting, Homesmith Real Estate Team, Carbell Pickering, and GFL aboard that Chevrolet Camaro. We'll get into that car in a second, because that car's got an interesting history. 56 machine, it's the Delaware Dancer, Sean McWhirter out of Mount Forest, the Stewart's Equipment, Riley's Home Services, NRD Byproducts, Kubota Canada, Streamline Race Products ride. Then we have the 49 machine of Miles Tyson, the Stewart's Equipment, Tyson Motorsports ride, year 2023, Jiffy Lube, Peterborough Speedway Superstock Track Champion, and the 11 machine, the PumpMyTank.ca Streamline Race Products entry of Ethan Constable. So we did some lineage work because Donovan Price ended up getting his car. It was off of Rob Richards. Find my mouth there. It's always interesting you find here in the Peterborough Speedway announce booth. But so the center section of that car dates back to the mid-90s. So that car was originally the Stomp-A-Tom Walters Bargain Automotive car. So the center section of that chassis dates back to Jimmy Ward chassis. With the Bargain Automotive wrap on it was in the movie Blood Knot with McDreamy Patrick Dempsey, which they filmed at Sunset Speedway. Went on to have life with Tara McLeod at Sunset Speedway in the All-Star Late Model Series. Eventually was the first car Matt Pritico drove when he came over stock car racing. He ran as a limited late model at Sunset Speedway and then bounced around and ended up out here getting cut up and turned into a super stock. So
That's just one of the many reasons they hand you a microphone, Brendan. Just one. It's a good one.
Don't ask me anything important, but I'll tell you the lineage of a chassis. So
that's awesome.
Or what's left of one.
Pieces matter.
Yeah. So we'll get them doubled up here behind the floor coverings. International Peterborough Speedway Pace Truck Qualifying Heat Race number 2. Walters with the newly acquired car. That car being campaigned out here this year by Brandon Feeney. This will be Walters' second start behind the wheel. Made his return to Superstock racing at the Velocity 250 out of Sunset. A little less color on it than the last time he had it out too. They got the wrap peeled off it. Not the usual blue, white, and red liquid moly colors of Feeney.
Probably has a little less duct tape and zip ties as well.
Oh, no.
I'm hearing reports.
No. Absolutely not. You clearly don't know Herb Walters.
Ethan Constable being shown the black flag fuel coming out of that 11 car.
So now are you going to allow him a chance to fix it, or is he just black flag? That's the question.
I don't know.
Although if it's fuel, they're really running out there with Speedy Dry. Usually just absorbs fairly quick. But
He picked a good spot to leak. You can't go racing with fuel right there. So go in, figure out your problem. You got an extra minute.
yeah, Constable broke something in the right front suspension in that car in opening practice. And the way it acted, it looked like a right front tie rod. So I didn't get a chance to talk to the team, but it was for sure. Tried to drive it back, and then the right front went the opposite direction, which the left wheel was pointing. So
I hate when that happens.
Yeah, made a quick determination something was very wrong.
Dart Heating and Air Conditioning safety crew out there working in turn number 1 and the entrance to 2.
A lot of surveying, not a lot of work. A lot of surveying of a situation.
Have they gone union? JP, is your team union?
I don't know. I didn't see anybody actually leaning on a broom. Give them a minute.
There was a lot of supervision going on.
Yeah.
Fuel cap. That will create a fuel leak. There was no fuel cap on the 11. We are going to leap to the conclusion that there now is a fuel cap on the 11 of Ethan Constable. Now, all joking aside, if you're going to have a problem like that, do it when you're starting last anyhow.
Yeah, I mean, at least you're not giving up like the front row or something like that, you know. Or it's going to be when we run the second round of heats tomorrow for the super stocks and you invert. Now you're starting on the pole. So good time for Constable having issues. So hopefully no more issues. That's, 2 times I've seen him on track today, and that's 2 issues. So I'm sure he's hoping this weekend goes a little smoother from here on out. But we'll see what happens here in the next 8 laps. Floor Coverings International, Peterborough Speedway pace truck about to make the hard left to pit road. The Czech Casher, Herb Walters, and Paul Boundy can lead the field to green off at turn number 4. Look for the Great Canadian RV green flag to go racing once again with the Jiffy Lube Super Stocks here at Peterborough Speedway, part of the 30th annual APC Autumn Colors Classic, presented by Toronto Motorama. Side by side down through 1 and 2. Walters down the advantage down the bottom side of the racetrack, pretty even as they drag race down the back straightaway. Paul Pepper looking for room to work. Walters drives that car deep into turn number 3, rolls the bottom side of the racetrack. That'll get him clear. Boundy, but Paul Pepper now looking at his inside. Walters trying to slam the door shut down through 1 and 2. A little bit of contact. Whoa. Walters sideways. Walters the big save in front of the field. Pepper allows him to collect that. Everyone able to keep it going straight. No pileups there.
Good form. Good form by Paul Pepper. Got him loose, but let him collect it. Now carry on again.
Yeah, Walters went up the hill and left the door open. Both of them that time seeming catching the curve and going up the hill. Monkey see, monkey do that time off at turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. Walters, though, a long-time veteran here, dating back to the Thundercar days, starting his career in the late 90s, has long made the pilgrimage out here to the Autumn Colors Classics and knows his way around Peterborough Speedway quite well. Has run a modified, a super stock, mini stock, and a limited late model, all here at the Autumn Colors Classics. So knows what to do. Cross sights in the air, 4 laps in, 4 to go. For the Ideal Supply Napa Auto Parts Greenview Graphics, Michelle's Topsoil 88 machine.
Pepper really got through the center of 1 and 2 last time. That car is rotating like crazy.
It's rotating well, but there he just made the mistake. He caught the curb coming off at turn number 4, and that shot him up the hill. I'm not sure if he's catching the curb or if he's got something dragging on the racetrack, and he just catches the bump stripe, but almost opens the door for Paul Poundy, and that's allowing the Czech Casher to get away. Popsicle sticks in the air for the 88 machine. As he's looking to drive away here and score the qualifying heat race win from the pole, as when we invert for tomorrow, he's going to have to start shotgun on the field out back. They'll come to the white flag this time by. Pepper starting to close the gap once again, the 88 machine, and has himself breathing room over the 08 of Paul Boundy. Marley Owen trying to close in the 08 as they race down the back straightaway for the final time. Into 3 off of 4. Checkered flag in the air. Herb Walters with the win. Pepper for second. Boundy in third. Owen fourth. And it'll be McWhirter rounding out the top 5.
Miles Tyson in the 49 finishing 6th. Ethan Constable finishing 7th after that fuel cap issue. Donovan Rice in the 96 finishing 8th. And Brad Laval rounding off the field in 9th in the 6th.
Diverse looking field of cars. I love the smattering of old style bodies out there.
Need more of that. Big fan. But pulling down into victory lane, the Michelle's Topsoil Audis Lineup Auto Parts Greenview Graphics number 88 machine. Put your hands together for the Czech Casher, Herb Walters. I believe we've gone around the horn, and we'll come back up with qualifying heat race number 2 for the Gen 3 Electric Ontario Modified Racing Series. Looks like leading off the 83 machine, the Great North Storage Corner 5 Racing entry. That is Andrew Massey. Kids outside with the number 90 W machine out of Newcastle, the Gen 3 Electric 4 Transmission TNT Performance Sports, All or Nothing Brewhouse, Sterling Tire, Clark Motorsports Communications, ELS Limited, Clintar Commercial Outdoor Services, Northtown Air, and Warren's Racing 90 W machine of Rick Warren's 46 machine. Nagorski Roofing entry, that is Tyler Bouillon, the Ray Hobbs Garage. Carl's Racing Engines also aboard that ride. 63 machine is JBJ, John Baker Jr., current Gen 3 Electric OMRS Series points leader. The Juba Pub and Patio, Robson Solutions, Gen 3 Electrical, Fotheringham Bookkeeping, Oshawa Hearing Clinic. 63 ride, 3 machine out of Shane Paul at the Wayne James College of Uxbridge entry. 62 car for full steam ahead, that is Randy Hollingsworth. 72 is Bob Franks, the Native Consider Torque Builders Web Transmission ride. 61 machine, then is Rob Warren's at Newcastle, Gen 3 Electric, 4 Transmission, TNT, Performance Products, All or Nothing Brewhouse, Sterling Tire, Clark Motorsports Communications, CLS Limited, Clintar Commercial Outdoor Services, Northtown Air, and Warren's Racing. And the 50 machine picked up the win in the first round of qualifying, the RKR Trucking. Now, Butterport Sport Perry, PD McLaren Limited entry of Alex Kuzilla. So that'll be your lineup, qualifying heat race number 2 for the Gen 3 Electrical Ontario Modified Racing Series. On their final points tonight, here, night number 1 of the 33rd APC Autumn Colors Classic, presented by Toronto Motorama.
So you avid race fans who might hang around on some of these Facebook groups may have seen posts and messages from Sean Morissette, a spotter in making. Said he's spotting for the 38 modified, so it's got to be the 83 of Andrew. Well, it doesn't have to be, but
he'll be spotting tomorrow for Brandon Feeney.
Okay, so tomorrow.
Yeah.
There you go. Here I'm trying to give him a shameless plug.
Well, he gets an extra one. He gets one tonight and one tomorrow when he's working.
Well, he's working tonight because he's doing the number 13 hot rod.
Oh, Ryan Cowan.
There you go.
There we go. So he's done for the night already. So there he worked, didn't get a shout-out. Now he's off work, gets a shout-out. He's probably having a cold beer. He's got it all figured out.
Well, the nice thing is he'll be listening now because he's not working.
Hey, all is good then. Floor coverings international, Peterborough Speedway, pace truck hits pit road. Green flag in the air. Great Canadian RV green flag. For the Gen 3 Electrical Ontario Modified Racing Series qualifying heat race number 2. And it's going to be Warren to jump into the lead. Mass a little bit of trouble down the bottom side of the racetrack. JBJ John Baker Jr. looking to the outside of that 83 machine as they get down to 3 and 4. Massey up off the bottom just a little bit. That takes the lane away from the 63. Here comes the 46 of Tyler Bouillon. Contact. The 63 going to go around. He tried to slam the door on the 3 of Pollock. And Pollock had nowhere to go but into the side of Baker's 63 machine and send him around. That all happened when Massey moved up the racetrack. And that opened the door for Bouillon down on the bottom. Baker seen the opening and tried to get down in behind Bouillon, but unfortunately that was filled by the Wayne James Hollage Bucksbridge 3 machine of Shane Pollock. Hey, we got a replay. See, just like this. Watch. Makes it hard left. Boom. There you go. Contact.
And the hole was almost there. Racing has changed. When teams have spotters, it used to be the number. If you weren't up to the number on the car beside you, you didn't have the lane. Now, if you've got a bumper just to the start of the quarter panel or the start of the rear bumper on cars, you're considered to have the lane, which is why spotters become so much more important.
Well, 3's going to the back along with the 63. So getting the lineup sorted out, 1 lap complete, 7 laps remain. Qualifying heat race number 2 as we set the order for the 25-lap feature event later on the night for the Ontario Modified Racing Series presented by Gen 3 Electrical. And since we didn't complete the lap, Tyler Bouillon going to get moved back in line. So putting some cars ahead of him. So Bouillon made that great move, but unfortunately going to count for nothing when we go back to lap number 1 since we didn't complete lap number 2.
Scoreboard down to 0.
All right, I just got a note from Robert James saying OMRS does not use radios. So in that case, you better be up to the number on the car beside you. You don't get, it's tough to make a late move like that because how does a driver know?
So it looks like they're putting the 63 of John Baker Jr. back up to position and penalizing the 3 of Shane Pollock.
I think it was a gentleman's rule.
All right, 3 tapped out. All right, that's how it is. I'm not familiar with the stylings of the Ontario Modified Racing Series. It's been several years since I've seen them, so the rule's a little different than what I'm used to.
So we're hearing from Jim Clark how this works. So Jim, does the driver who caused the spin have to claim it himself, or does the official do it? So the driver does. The driver says, hey, I caused that, go to the back. That allows the driver who spun to get their spot.
And I guess Pollock realizing that Baker Jr. is still, trying to clinch the championship, doing the gentlemanly thing.
That's no different than playground basketball, right? You call your fouls, you feel shame for a minute, you move on.
All right, so we'll try this one again. Once again, lights extinguished on the floor covering the International Peterborough Speedway pace truck. As actually, I believe I've been corrected, so it will be a complete restart. So we did not take the first lap. So we'll try this one again right from start. So pace truck going to hit pit road, come to the Great Canadian RV green flag once again. Rick Warren's on the inside, Andrew Massey now on the outside. Green flag in the air off of 4. Warren's with the advantage down the bottom, going to come over the top spot. Baker Jr. going to follow through. Warren protects the bottom. That time down the back straightaway. Slides to the racetrack a little. Baker Jr. unable to take advantage. Still looking to the inside. As he heads towards turn number Warren. Warren's doing what he has to do. Rolling the bottom side of the racetrack. Baker Jr. looking for just any bit of daylight he can find down the bottom side of the racetrack to work past the 90 machine of Rick Warren's. Not able to do so. Warren's the veteran. Doing a great job down around the bottom side of the racetrack. Maybe slides up just a little bit there. And that will open the door. Here comes JBJ, John Baker Jr. The Juke Pub and Patio. Robson Solutions, 63 machine going to the top spot. Tyler Bouillon trying to take advantage. Rick Warren able to slam the door shut. That time down the front straightaway as they head towards turn number 1. Warren with a little bit of shot. Into the rear of Baker Jr. That time through 1 and 2 as he got back to the 63 car. Cross legs in the air, 4 laps in, 4 laps to go. Qualifying heat race number 2. Extended Gear Electrical Ontario Modified Racing Series. Working his way from the tail of the field up to the 5th spot, looking for more. Trying to find a way past Bob Franks in the 72 machine for the 4th spot. As laps wind down, the Needus Clifton Center web transmission 72 car. Found strong one in the 4th spot. Here comes Bouillon now looking for 2nd, working the inside of Warren's. In the 90 machine as they race down into 3 and 4, side by side for 2nd. Warren's will yield the spot to fall in line behind the 46 machine of Bouillon. Still falling back just a little bit to the 72 of Tom Franks here as laps wind down, white flag in the air for John Baker Jr. at the front of the field. Bouillon for 2nd. Warren's in 3rd so far. And Franks holding on to that 4th spot. Final time down the back straightaway, almost a straightaway advantage for the 63 of John Baker Jr. Going to pick up heat win number 2 here on the night. And it'll be the 46 machine. Bouillon for 2nd, Warren for 3rd, Franks for 4th, and 5th will go to Kazilla.
Andrew Massey in the 83 finishing 6th. Shane Pollock in the 3 finishing 7th. Randy Hollingsworth in the 62 back in 8th. And Rob Warrens in the 61 rounding off the field in 9th.
So that will do it for OMRS Heat action.
And pulling down into victory lane. The Juke Pump and Patio, Robson Solutions, Century Electrical, Fatherham Bookkeeping, Oshawa Hearing Clinic. Number 63 makes some noise for JBJ, John Baker Jr.
Is that modified?
So up next should be the Bone Stocks.
The Battlefield Equipment Bone Stocks. The entry level of racing here at Peterborough Speedway and most other tracks. It's always a fun class, though.
I got a chance to race these last week. Clinton Jeffrey was in one. I was in one. A couple of Chris Lawrence cars. I think he's got about 6 of them here tonight. An absolute blast to go out there and drive. So if you're interested in doing it, but you don't necessarily want to build a car or buy a car, get in touch with Chris Lawrence. He rents rides.
We actually have the school here at Peterborough Speedway. You want to learn how to drive a race car? We've got some basically they're bone stocks sitting back in the trailer. We'll pull them out, rent the track for a Sunday afternoon. It's not a bad fun way to do it. Great if you get a few friends to go with you too.
Oh, for sure. Because bragging rights is the only reason people race. I mean, sure, there's money and there's trophies and there's victory lane and there's the license. Bragging rights is pretty much where it's at.
All right, here we go. Heat number 1 for the Bone Stocks. Leading them out the 55 machines. The mare of the infield, the Juniors Haulage, East King Trucking, Nikki's Tire 55 machine of Chris Allard. 23 machine, Dennis Keegan Stanley, Lakeside Mobile Tire, NCMC entry. 2018 machine. That is Eric Stewart aboard the driving with Haley London Recreational Racing. Pontiac G5. That'll be Brady Cox. Aboard the Mike Estelle Stables, Paris Medical Center, Bob McClure Racing Ride. 92 machine is Matt Christina. The Zenitech Collision Center at Barrie Ride. 92 machine. That is Kyle Newmeister, the Beltley Welding JD Newmeister Maintenance Ride. Tall Man promo. Number 92 machine. Then it'll be the 8 machine. That should be Brandon Burnett aboard the newly acquired ride. Cutting Fabrication Harmony Connections. Brand new construction ride. That car form campaign by John Haynes up at Sunset Speedway. 55 machine is Craig Cole, the Siskins Triple B Racing Ride. Then it'll be the 95 machine of Peyton Lewis, the Just Foam It Super 8 Port Elgin Elite Roofing K&K Lawn Care Ride. And then we have the 39 machine of Zachary Chang, the Peterborough Speedway regular, the Comic Alley Toys Gates Graphics Ride. That'll be qualifying heat race number 1 for the Bone Stocks.
Interesting note, it looks like Michael Newmaster in the 76 unable to make the call.
Yeah, I seen Kyle here, but I had not seen Michael pull in through my last tour of the pits this afternoon, so I wonder if they had some issues trying to get to the track here this afternoon. And Michael Newmeister unable to make the call, qualifying heat race number 1 for the Bone Stocks.
Lights are out on the Floor Coverings International pace truck. It'll live down to the infield this time by.
So the mare of the infield, Chris Allard, going to lead the field of green. That newly acquired 55 car. That was campaigned by Brandon Steele up at Sunset Speedway this year. Multiple feature wins. Allard, a former super stock and mini stock competitor. I spent the last several years as mayor of the infield. Now getting back into racing behind the wheel of the 55 machine. Great Canadian RV green flag set to fly off a turn. Number 4, racing with the Bone Stocks. Cobalt coming up through the gearbox, leaves the Honda standing at the line. Tegan Stanley working the high side of the racetrack. Going to slide in line in front of the 28T of Eric Stewart and take over the second spot, side by side for third. Brady Cox working the high side of the racetrack. Eric Stewart down low in the 28 machine. Cox going to fall back in line behind the 28 and going to have to deal with the 92 of Kyle Newmeister, a former Autumn Colors Classic champion here in the Bone Stock division. Cox having some struggles on the high side of the racetrack. Matt Christina now in the 92. Trouble for Brandon Burnett. The 8 machine going to hit pit road.
Now, Cox had a hard crash last weekend at Flamborough. That looks like the same car he was driving, but I would be surprised as hard as he clobbered the backstretch wall.
Facebook said they were fixing it, so I believe it is the same car. But Facebook could be wrong.
What?
Oh, Facebook's never wrong.
How dare you?
We got one blowing up, Craig Cole, and the Siskins 55 machine. Looks like he has possibly dropped a motor or something, but no caution. Don't believe he's dropped any fluid on the racetrack. Cleanup, dirt heating and air conditioning cleanup crew headed down to check it out.
What do you feed your cleanup crew? Like, they ran down the backstretch, down pit road faster than the cars were running down the backstretch.
They've confirmed there's no fire, though. Just a lot of smoke, so that's good.
Someone should ask them, where's the fire, fellas?
Christina trying to find a way past Eric Stewart for the 4th spot. Popsicle sticks in the air for Chris Allard out in front.
Look at Brady Cox up there looking to ride the high line around and come across down into the racing group, but entering the corner real high in that 24, then coming down the track.
And Matt Christina with a big ride down the back straightaway. He caught the Jersey Barrier and up the wall he went. Able to keep going, though. The 92 car, you can see the roof number that time, if it had a roof number, that time down the back straightaway.
He was just using turn 5.
Yeah, I mean, hey, like a dirt track, right? Just using the berm, come down the hill.
Find the cushion.
My mare, Chris Allard, going to pick up the win. Stanley for second. It'll be Neumeister in third. Stewart in fourth. And Christina, after the ball ride, going to round out the top 5.
Tegan Stanley actually has a nickname for the car. Rhonda the Honda.
Okay, that works.
It rhymes.
We need to give Jim a microphone. just for the occasion. So, a couple times a night can chime in. This Help Me Rhonda lines.
Pulling down into victory lane, though. The Junior Tall Cheese King Limited hammered down Apparel 55 machine. Makes a noise. Your heat winner, the Mare of the Infield, Chris Allard. That's my mare. I want people to know.
Yeah, how does that work? Is it a democracy? Is he voted in, or did you just assume the position? Did you just go in there and
two-term mare.
Okay.
So it's been voted back by the people. Now, it's something we came up with at Sunset because, when the bone stocks are on the track, Chris Allard is seemingly the only crew guy in the infield. If you come down pit road, you might have a crew somewhere, but Chris Allard's going over the wall for you. I watched them one night. They have a Kubota with a plow that they use for transporting their stuff to pit road, I guess. But somebody had gotten hit in the left rear wheel on a solid axle Cobalt, and it bent the left rear wheel. So they found a chain, and he is we have it on video on our Sunset Speedway Twitter. So he is directing traffic. So they put somebody in the Kubota as he chains it up and okay, we'll give it a tug. And Buddy doesn't know how to drive the Kubota. So Chris literally just throws the guy out of the driver's seat and jumps in, and they're back up and trying to pull this axle back straight so the driver can continue on. But at that night, we started calling him the Mare of the Infield, and it's just what we do now.
All right. Second term.
So it looks like that blow-up of Craig Cole has brought out the Dart Heating and Air Conditioning cleanup crew.
Just a small trail of fluid, nothing wide, which is good. And it wasn't even enough to need to stop. Didn't get into the corners.
Do you ever go to the Blue Jays games? I've been told we got to go to break, but I'll bring this up later in the show. This is going to come up. Let's take a quick break on G-Force TV. When we come back, more Pure Stock racing from Peterborough Speedway.
Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Our savory potato sides can be prepared any way you like. Serve warm or chilled, as a main or as a side. Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Create your way to great taste.
Rev up your engines and get ready for some high-octane action. G-Force TV is your one-stop destination for all the best racing action across Ontario. With free live coverage of the ABC Series, Bushwick Speedway, Southern Ontario Sprints, and much more. You won't miss a single moment of the excitement. Whether you're a diehard fan or a casual viewer, G-Force TV has everything you need to stay up to date on the latest racing news and events. Head to our website at gforcetv.net and start watching today. Get ready to experience the NASCAR Pinty Series Power Hour. Join your host and wingman, Cam K, every Monday night at 7 p.m. on G-Force TV for an hour of non-stop excitement and in-depth analysis of the hottest racing series around. From the latest race highlights to expert analysis and insider commentary, you'll get an exclusive look at everything you need to know about the NASCAR Pinty Series. Tune in for the NASCAR Pinty Series Power Hour, the ultimate destination for race fans everywhere.
You're so tasty. Drive me crazy. Ain't nothing I can do.
Welcome back to Peterborough Speedway, where the green flag flies for Pure Stock Heat Race number.
Pure Stock depends on that. That's the term for the west end of the province. We're east of the 400. So, back racing here, Phil Gibbons out in front. The two-speed Motorsports Calcott Millwright. Enidville Garage, number 0 machine. Former Autumn Colors Classic champion jumps the lead. Alex Stewart to second. That is Christian Laval in the third spot. 53 machine is Johnny McIntyre running in fourth. Here comes Cowboy Chris Lawrence, 28 machine working to the inside. In the Corey's Tire and Auto BT Racing entry, trying to crack the top 4 here. As he's got Jordan Wills, the 22 machine to his outside. 17 is Spencer Dell looking for room to work. 3 wide down the back straightaway. Johnny McIntyre going to get squeezed out up to the high side of the racetrack.
Kyle Johnson in the R2 running got back in 7th. Connor Parks is in the 98 and Alexis Melhus is in the 72.
Happy you jumped on that one for me. I've been reading that all afternoon trying to figure that one out. So
breaking into a sweat.
Yeah. Well, she told me, and I was like, she was strapped in with a helmet on, so it really wasn't helping the situation. But we made the best of it. So, Gibbons though, that 0 car, got himself a rocket here tonight. The 0 car out in front. Alex Stewart doing a great job in the Hammer. Marcus Dell, number 16 machine.
For a bone stock posting a 16.8, 16.9 at Peterborough Speedway, that's almost a mini stock speed. It's not quite fast enough to be a mini stock, but it's way too fast to be a bone stock.
Gibbons almost a half second quicker, if not a little bit more, than the rest of the field in this one. But hey, when you get the setup dialed in, there's a reason he's a former Autumn Colors Classic champion. Had a fast car last year. I believe it was the right rear wheel bearing let go on the 0 car early and sidelined them. So
watch his line. I mean, the car's almost perfect through the turns, making a lot of speed in the end.
We got trouble. Johnny McIntyre loses the right front wheel. And evasive action being taken by the 0-2 of Kyle Johnson to avoid it.
I have to. You picked a fine time to leave me, loose wheel.
I saw that coming.
And Clinton's right there on the scene with the camera. And that will be the end of that one as they had taken the white flag. So since the caution came out, we will call that one complete.
Let's have a look at the replay here. White flag flying there. Wow. Thankfully, that tire hit the wall and bounced back towards the infield.
And very good move, too, by Kyle Johnson avoiding it, because he could have sent that tire flying with the bounce. So,
in no particular direction either. I mean, that could have been.
People underestimate how heavy that assembly is. A tire on a wheel is very, very heavy.
Although it looked like it was just the tire.
No, I think
the rim is on there.
Oh, the rim is on?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I got talking about Blue Jays games. And they call it the world's fastest grounds crew when they come out. And I always thought it was a gimmick. But a couple months ago, we were in New York City for a Yankees game, and the grounds crew came out. I thought, you guys are awful. You need to go to Toronto and see how it's. So that's the crew here at Peterborough as we have another look at the tire coming to rest at Clinton's feet. But there's something to be said for a fast cleanup crew. It's impressive.
Down at Victor Lane, though, the 0 machine, the 2-speed Motorsports Enidville Garage. Ride, put your hands together. Your heat winner for Phil Gibbons. As Johnny McIntyre, I see, looks like wheel nuts are still on there, so he might have just blew out the center of the rim on that one.
And that's often what happens. Hey, Clinton, do you have a microphone on tonight? No, he's shaking his head no. Hopefully we have one for Victory Lane. We're gonna need that setup. So Clinton is operating as a camera operator tonight and still getting his 50,000 steps in. That's the best. If you tell him there's something going on in turn number 2, he'll sprint to turn 2. No, we meant turn 4. That's why he is thin and I am not.
None of us are up here.
Right? Give us the comfy jobs, and we're going to pack on the weight.
Hey, I run out of breath just climbing the stairs. I stop half. I like the new addition there. Halfway, stop and genuflect in front of the cross, bless myself, continue up the ladder.
Have you ever done the CN Tower climb?
No.
I've done that a couple of times, and both times regretted it. By the third story, I had regretted it.
I have done the climb in Bogota, Colombia, to Monserrate. That's all the steps.
Okay, yeah.
Up to that chapel that's on the top of the mountain, and that's at 10,000 feet. So the air's a lot thinner. You start about 9,000 feet and go up 1,000 feet the mountain.
Did you find redemption when you got there?
Well, I was praying to God it would stop.
That counts.
I found my microphone, Adam.
Oh, fabulous. And I'm not, Charlie, why did you want to know if we had communications with Clint?
I just wanted to make sure we could actually get him down there for Winner's Circle a little later on, but I guess he's found the microphone, so.
Yeah, I've just played around a mobile camera, having some extra fun here tonight. We'll be full ready for Victory Lanes, don't worry.
Did you see how fast that safety crew was running, Clint?
Amazing, and we went to one commercial break, and we had to cut it short, and even Spencer said, wow, we're not used to them cleaning up so quick, so great job on the crew, and we had to cut our commercials short.
So, folks, as you know, things get exciting at Autumn Colors. There is often extracurricular activities. We've got Clinton Jeffrey. We've got a microphone. Abby's going to be here with the drone this weekend. We're going to have more angles of Autumn Colors than you have ever seen before.
Which also means no fluorescent tube is safe this weekend.
That was...
I could not.
They had to call in an electrician on the Sunday morning to make repairs to the tech room at Delaware because... I fully blame Quick Wick. He laid the challenge to park the drone on a bucket of Quick Wick, and I was
watching
in
that,
the tech
yes.
garage. So
yes, and I saw the tech garage, the light come flashing or crashing down.
So the light came crashing down, but so did the fixture.
The whole
It broke
fixture,
in half.
yeah.
It was hanging. That's a tough drone.
We got some serious business. Abby is on probation for the rest of the year with APC.
He has an official penalty. He owes Daryl Timmermans a box of Timbits.
Well, the upside is APC is just sponsoring. It's not a sanctioned event. He's safe. He can do whatever he wants.
We don't have lights in tech lane like that.
We don't have a covered tech lane. We're good. No challenge can be laid down. So, all right, here we go. Line up for, looks like bone stock number 301 machine that is constant for the BNR janitorial ride. Sits outside with the 2048E of Connor Ellis, making his return to the bone stock division. Then be the 48 of Dustin Johnson, the Lyuna Sign Street McNichol Welding and Fabricating ride. 36 machine of Nathan Mitchell to the outside of him. In the ILA local ride, inside of row number 3 is the 42 machine. That is Leo Labarbera. Leo Labarbera. Then we go to the number 40 machine. That is Mike Allen, sponsored by the Pug. 50 machine. That is Wade Thorne, the BT Racing 2-Speed Motorsports entry. 90 machine. That is Greg Duncan, the All About Wheel and Tire Bradford ride. 52 machine is Curtis Burnett, and the 89 machine is Victoria McLennan, rounding out the field, the Comic Alley Toys, number 89 machine. And just like that, we are racing once again with the Bone Stocks here at the 30th Annual Autumn Colors Classic, presented by APC and Toronto Motorama. We are green flag racing. Connor Ellis gets the jump, pulling double duty with the hot rod as well, now out in front. Nathan Mitchell up to second spot.
Gregory Duncan and Mark Allen towards the back of the field, getting into it there on that opening lap.
The Wacky Works number 90 machine struggling around the racetrack here. The Sunset Speedway regular has made his sort of touring a little bit. Went to Flamborough last week, Autumn Colors this week. So making the rounds, trying to learn a new racetrack. And I didn't see him here for practice this afternoon, so late entry, but he's got some right front suspension damage. That right front tire rolling over pretty hard, so might have broke something in the contact with Allen. But out front, it is all Connor Ellis. Battle is on for the third spot. 48 machine of Dustin Johnson and Wade Thorne in the 50 machine. Thorne pulling double duty with the mini stock.
Yeah, he did that last weekend at Flamborough. Had a great battle in the feature event with Joe Lawrence and a couple others as Leo Labarbera gets way up out of the groove in 3 and 4. Didn't lose a spot, but that allowed Mark Allen to close right in. Trouble in turn number 2.
And that is Dustin Johnson goes for the, I guess we'll call it a spin down to the infield. But looks to be off the racing surface far enough. No, he is not. Caution will come out. As the troubles continue for Greg Duncan, looks like that 90 car has finally broken up. He's going to come to a stop up in turn 2 as well.
Looks like issues for the 89 of Victoria McLennan.
And contact. There it is. Wade Thorne had the nose in there, and a nose was all he needed for the 48 to go around.
The hole was there, and then it was not. A little bit of contact. As Greg Duncan, that's dejected body language there. As Duncan climbs out of that 90 machine.
Tow truck getting in position to hook him up.
You were talking about Leo Lobabera being way high on the track. I was watching him during practice in turn 4, and I was scared every time he came around because it looked like he was hitting for the great big wall there at the end of turn 4, and he kept avoiding it very closely.
So Greg Duncan getting hooked up there. He'll hop back in the car. Start heating the air conditioning cleanup crew over there.
So if you want to go and talk to Leo LaBarbera in the 42, you might think twice after you see him. He's got a look about him that makes you think, I maybe shouldn't approach him on race day. Nicest guy. Super nice guy. But he just has this look about him that he's a tough-looking dude.
There's a few of them like that.
But super friendly. This division is fun. The drama and the workings, conversations that go on in the background and on social media, and boy, oh boy, you'd think they were racing for their mortgage payments.
Competitive but fun. I know a lot of them here, even when you have visitors from other tracks come to Peterborough Speedway during the season. A lot of the regular racers here will lend a hand. Lend a hand, give some advice. Everybody wants to have a good, fun, competitive time out on the track.
Well, and it's tough to race with someone having problems. Let's pick on Greg Duncan because he's on the back of a tow truck. It's hard to race around a car like that that's handling so poorly the driver can't drive it.
Yeah.
I mean, that wasn't Greg Duncan driving poorly. That's something going on with the race car that's not allowing him to drive it. So all the competitors want him to be faster because that makes life challenging for all of them when there's a car there that can't run a racing line.
All right, so here we go once again. The floor covering International's pace truck has the lights extinguished. And we are 3 laps in, 5 laps remaining. Qualifying heat race number 3 for the Bone Stocks. Ellis has been quick so far. He'll have Nathan Mitchell to his outside. Wade Thorne inside row number 2 behind him. Coming to the green flag off of turn number 4. Mitchell gets the jump in the Mazda. Comes up the gearbox rather quickly. And able to clear the 48 down in the corner, but we are going to call that one back. Brakes. Yes, caution. So there you go.
Message delivered.
A few of them hit Quantum Leap there. Thought they were going to the front in a hurry. Couldn't figure out why.
So the whole safety crew has reflective suits on, and they send the official out with the black shirt to direct traffic.
So as per the Peterborough Speedway rule book, Nathan Mitchell will be put back 1 row for the jump start. So they won't...
So La Barbera being put ahead of the 50 of Wade Thorne. Worked out well for him. He's going to get to restart on the outside of the front row, and we know he likes it up there. That car actually accelerates quickly. It gets up to speed pretty fast.
I mean, it's just all that, again, you see it with different makes and models, right? Sometimes the gearing is there. Sometimes you got to shift a gear. Sometimes you're you're right in the sweet spot. It all depends on what you got.
Exactly, and like you say, some shift and some don't. So it's whatever you're comfortable with. Well, let's have a look and see how this shakes out.
Trying this one again. This time it'll be Ellis the inside, Barberis on the outside, and Thorne and Mitchell making up row number 2. Ellis gets the jump this time. Barberis struggling on the high side of the racetrack. That's going to the door for Wade Thorne. Mitchell trying to slide in line. He'll do so to 4th. Now going to look at the inside of Barberis, this time it down into turn number 3. Doesn't have enough of a run. Top 4. Spread out single file. Mitchell now looking to the high side of the 42 car. Doesn't have enough to run through 1 and 2 to make that happen. White flag in the air for Connor Ellis. One more trip around the park. Wade Thorne trying to close the gap. 2-Speed Motorsports BT Racing ride. See if he's able to do so. Final time through 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway. Thorne with a good run off of 2, but not enough to close in on the 48 of Ellis into 3 off of 4. Checkered flag in the air. It'll be the 48 of Connor Ellis picking up the win. The 50 of Thorne for 2nd. Barberis for 3rd. 4th will go to Mitchell, and Allen will round out the top 5.
Good race for Connor Ellis in the 48 machine, holding off a late charge by Wade Thorne. Officials rolling into the room once again.
So pulling down to victory lane, the participant specialized wildsprinting.com. Tracy Ellis, PC 275 Realty, CT Repair, Medical Welding and Fabricating, RFK Paralegal, and Redline Chevelle Parts. The 48 is Connor Ellis. As now we get ready for the Just Foam It Oscar Modified Tour. So we get set for the Scott Reinhardt Trailer Sales, Jarvis Auctions, Grindstale Race Products Heat Races.
Do we know the differences between an Oscar Modified and an OMRS Modified?
I believe the Oscar Modified is a wider car. It has a different stance to it. Bigger tires. Not sure of much more beyond that. I haven't really got into it, but I know they are a bigger car.
10-4.
I'm trying to think, but they're close. I think the OMRS cars are single piston brakes, Oscar dual piston. I don't think you can run an MSD ignition with OMRS. You can run it with Oscar. So different things. American racer tire versus a recap. Radios versus non-radios. Just
there you go.
Few things here and there.
I've come to the right place when it comes to asking for information.
They're louder. I'll tell you that much.
The ground pounders roll to the racetrack. Just Foam It Oscar Modified Tour. Lead them off the 81 machine out of New Lowell. The Overkill Enterprises. Ontario Modular Solutions. TriStar Mechanical North. 81 machine is the recipe. Tyler Liscombe. To his outside with the 18 machine out of Oakville, the Oakville Automotive and Diesel Machine Shop ride of Jason Keene. 48 machine, that is Dave Mathers out of St. Thomas. The London Metal Duck Supply ride. 69 machine out of Owen Sound. The Fireplace and Patio Stop, have1.com. Mr. Transmission of Owen Sound, Napoleon RPM Raceware ride. It is Wally Wilson. 14 machine, former series champion, former Autumn Colors Classic champion out of Hawkins Corner. The TL Tire, BAE Environmental. Speedy Glass, Aurelia AM Marketing, Peterbilt Race Cars, Brown, the Automotive ride of AJMs. That'd be the 35 machine out of Newcastle, the Ibach Springs, Taunton Tire, ML Excavating, Molten Restoration, Bad Axe Restoration Products, Restoration Co., and PJ Larkin Salvage ride of Chad Strawn, former OMRS Series champion. 99 machine out of Hawkstone. The PBS Pumps and Motors, ATD Building Supplies, Ports Heating and Cooling, Twin Family Movers, TSS Soft Shops, Heritage Heating Contractors, First General Property Restorations, Muskoka Tiki Renovations, and Morton Metals is the upgrade. Rick Spencer Bolt, driving for car owner Alan Adams, the former Peterborough Speedway late model track champion. Behind the wheel, the 99 machine. And it looks like Ems will start shotgun on the field, and that'll be your lineup for qualifying heat race number 1 for the Just Foam It Oscar Modified Tour. And you get some heat in these American Racer slicks.
Okay, the 48 of Dave Mathers. That's who Sean Morissette is spotting for. You know why I know that? I just got a message from Sean Morissette saying I'm spotting for the 48. These are the deep dives we take.
I mean, sometimes the best information just comes to you, I find, you know. The text message correction is always the way to go, or the Facebook Messenger correction.
I get a lot of them, which just tells me how often I'm wrong and how easy I am to find.
Well, I mean, you know, easy to find, yeah. I mean, you're in a situation where it's like easy to find. Like, you know, they can find you at home right now, you know. Normal Saturday night, the only people who are going to correct me are the ones within earshot.
And they do.
Oh, yeah. So we need
mini stock non-winners to your cars. Mini stock non-winners to your cars, please.
All right, white flag is out. Lights extinguished on the floor covering International Peterborough Speedway pace truck. We get set to fire with the ground pounders. The Just Foam It Oscar Modified Tour. It'll be the recipe Tyler Liscombe and Jason Keane leading the field to green. Liscombe spent a lot of time out here at Peterborough Speedway in the late 90s, early 2000s, part of the Challenger division. Late model, super late model racer, has been a long-time veteran of the Autumn Colors Classic, looking to lead the field to green. Looking for the Great Canadian RV green flag off of turn number 4. And Scott Reinhardt Trailers, JRS Auctions, Grisdale Race Products, Heat Race number 1. Green flag in the air. We are racing with the Just Foam It Oscar Modified Tour. And on the high side, Jason Keane gets the nose out in front. Liscombe to keep the nose in there as they get down to 3 and 4. Bit of contact. Liscombe up the hill. Keane able to collect it. Drag race back to the line. Liscombe going to lead him back to the stripe. That time by side for third. Strawn misses the corner. That sends Wally Wilson up the hill. Going to open the door. Here comes the 99. Rick Spencer Balt. Business is picked up with Just Foam It Oscar Modified Tour. Side by side for the top spot. Keane making that high side work, but is yet to be able to get clear of the 81 of Liscombe. Here comes Strawn, poke the nose, thought to make it 3 wide. The Taunton Tire iBox Springs, number 35 machine, trying to find some room at the front of the field. Still side by side for the top spot. The Oakville Automotive and Diesel Machine Shop, 18 machine of Keane on the high side, trying to get clear of the 81 of Liscombe. Liscombe has the nose in there, side by side. Keane up the hill, that time to 3 and 4. Back line at the stripe, Keane will lead him. 4 laps in, 4 laps to go. Strawn trying to hope things sort out the front of the field. Keane now gets clear Liscombe. Over the bumps is the 35 of Strawn. He loses the run down the back straightaway, has to fall in line behind the 81 of Liscombe. Liscombe up the hill, this time off of 4. A little bit of freedom for the 81 machine now, trying to make some ground. Now the 18 is clear of him. Liscombe trying to put a bit of breathing room between him and the 35 of Chad Strawn. Gets on the binder, Strawn, nerf bar to nerf bar. That time to 3 and 4. Into the back of Liscombe. Possible 6 to the line, that time by for Jason Keane. Strawn looks to the inside. Liscombe seen it coming, takes the lane away. Strawn now going to go to the high side of the racetrack, wreaking the high rent district work. White flag in the air for Jason Keane, but the battle's on for second. Here comes Strawn rolling the high side of the racetrack. The iBox Springs Junior Hanley built 35 machine, trying to make it happen down the back straightaway. Off of 4, checkered flag in the air for Jason Keane. Battle for second will go to Tyler Liscombe. Third at the line will be Strawn. AJ Ems for 4th. And Rick Spencer Walt will round out the top 5.
Wally Wilson finishing in the 69 and 6th, and Dave Mathers finishing off the field in 7th with the number 48.
That was some intense racing. Holy moly.
I mean, when you're looking to make it 3 wide for the lead, it'll do that. It'll do it in a hurry.
In a heat race.
Yeah.
But you got to love that. Strawn was out there aggressive. Last time I saw Jason Keane, that car was tore up. Made hard contact with the wall of Delaware Speedway. And now, after fending off Liscombe from the outside groove, which is impressive, celebrates victory. Down
at Victory Lane, the Oakville Automotive and Diesel Machine Shop racing stuff. Number 18 machine, put your hands together for Jason Keane.
He's going for the championship this weekend.
So just comparing lap times between the earlier OMRS cars. So almost, I don't know, call it 0.8 of a second quicker for the Oscar Modifieds.
That's a big difference.
Yeah.
Here comes heat race number 2. What a great night for racing this has turned out to be, fellas.
Yeah, it's been perfect so far, and Jason Keane comes with a 14-point advantage over TJ Edwards into this final weekend. So Edwards has been closing that gap up slowly but surely the last several weeks, but as of right now, 14 points is the distance. 39 machine lead them off. Out of Orcona, Ontario, the Harrington Excavating, Canadian Weld Supply, Stonepicker Brewing Company, Lloyd's Paving, Wyoming Stone Slinger Services, VMS Rod Ends, Wilds Printing, Pop Lock, Griffin Autotech, Derek's Mowers and Blowers, Lambton Dipping and Coatings Ride, Brian Battied, his outside with the 88D machine out of Wardsville. That is Ryan Dick, the Daryl Dick Excavating, still searching for others. 88D machine, that'll be the 51 machine of Dale Reinhardt at Shelburne, the Robeville Farms, SGR Plumbing, Blackjack Express, Scott Reinhardt Trailer Sales, BW Towing Ride. And then we mentioned the outside of row number 2 comes in tonight, second in points. Out of Guelph, the Can-Do Home, Just Foam It, Young's Home Hardware, JT Excavating, Seekers Collision, Donna Marie Davidson, Remax, Sign Needs, Plenty Perforated, Plate and Steel, Stewart's Equipment, and Epic Raceway Ride of TJ Edwards, former series champion. And the 7 machine out of Durham, Ontario, the RKS Electric, Roy Moore Demolition, Just Foam It, Spray Foam Installation, Just Hunt, and Sons of Concrete entry. That is Alvin McNichol. Driver car owner Relentless Tommy Robb. 88 machine.
38.
Or 38 machine. The Liquid Molly entry. That is Brayden Feeney. Last time he was in that car was 88. He hadn't had a chance to renumber it quite yet. Today he's got the fresh to 38 on there. And the 35C machine out of Drumbo, the one racing, Seaton Structures, Humvee Parts.ca, CN Precision, AM Group Companies, Sean Chenoweth Racing, and Route 19 Auto Parts. It's the Mastodon Sean Chenoweth. So that will be your lineup for Just Foam It. Oscar Modified Tour qualifying heat race number 2, presented by Scott Reinhardt, Trailer Sales, Jerry Auctions, Drysdale Race Products, the Fireplace and Patio Stop.
I believe this is a debut for Brandon Feeney into the Oscar Modified class.
No, he can't. Well, the Oscar Modified, yes. He ran that car at Sunset as part of the Velocity weekend out there for Herb Walters, as they had basically switched cars for the weekend in their trade of cars. So
yes,
Feeney got the Modified. Walters got the Super Stock. Walters still had a points race to compete in, and threw Feeney behind the wheel since he now owned that Modified. So. He claims this is his swan song, though. He says he's selling out at the end of this one, so we'll see what really happens.
He just bought that car.
He says he's done. He said, yeah, he made the deal. I don't know if he thinks it modifies you're selling super stock, but last I checked, he was hanging it up. He was doing a responsible adult thing. So from 3 cars down to 1, and then hopefully none is the plan. So,
all right.
Great Canadian RV green flag in the air. And Batty going to get the jump on the bottom side of the racetrack. Ryan Dick tried to slide in line, but the 51 machine of Dale Reinhardt was there. TJ Edwards going to have some work to do after Keane picked up the heat win in the first round of qualifying. And he's looking to close that points gap. Contact between the 34 and the 88. Ryan Dick up the hill, but here comes the 35 of Sean Chenoweth to the inside of TJ Edwards, side by side for third. The one of recreational racing, Route 19 Auto Parts, Humvee Parts.ca, 35 car. Rolling now up to the 3rd spot.
From 7th to 3rd in 2 laps.
Doesn't take long. That 35 car has went undefeated at Sunset Speedway this year. Won the season opener at Flamborough with the Oscar Modified Tour. Won out at Delaware. Won last week before a tech discrepancy. Had the win taken away. So that 35 car in on-track action, undefeated so far. And right now trying to find a way to get to the inside of Dale Reinhardt. Kicks the nose in there, does the Mastodon Sean Chenoweth. Reinhardt up the hill, going to open the door for the 35 machine. TJ Edwards trying to close in and take advantage of it. Reinhardt going to stay up the racetrack. That'll open the door for the 34 machine, but Brian Batty has checked out. And Batty so far has been able to turn fast lap times with Chenoweth. See what Chenoweth can do now. He's got clean track. Chenoweth a little bit quicker, but not much. That Brian Batty bringing a good piece with him here this afternoon, or this evening I should say, to the Autumn Colors Classic. White flag in the air, qualifying heat race number 2 for the Just Foam It Oscar Modified Tour. Down the back straightaway into 3 off of 4, checkered flag in the air. Brian Batty going to pick up the win. Chenoweth for 2nd, Edwards in 3rd, Reinhardt 4th, and Dick will round out the top 5.
Good run for Sean Chenoweth from the back to the front. Did most of his passing on the opening lap and a half, but That's important. Get through the traffic as quickly as you can.
And that's not a good sign for the field when we invert him for the next round, I believe. So might have some easier work to do starting at the front of the field. But right now, pulling down into victory lane, the Heriting Excavating of Corona, Canadian Welding Supply, Stone Picker Brewing Company, Lloyd's Paving, Wyoming Stone Slinger Services, VMS Rod Ends, Wilds Printing, Popalock, Griffin Autotech, Derek's Mowers and Blowers, Lambton Dipping and Coatings. Put your hands together for the 39 machine of Brian Batty.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back on GeForce TV.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick perfected fire. Quick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick retailer at quickquick.com.
Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Our savory pasticides can be prepared any way you like. Serve warm or chilled, as a main or as a side. Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Create your way to great taste.
When your dream car becomes a nightmare, leaving you frustrated, stranded, and broke, you say,
Goodbye, you piece of Let's take it to TKC.
What? You gotta pee?
TKC!
Let's take this piece of to TKC Metal Recycling. They pay cash for scrap cars.
Yahoo!
TKC will recycle your piece of car. Got a piece of car? Visit TKC Metal Recycling, 20 Cushman Road, St. Catharines.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Our savory potato sides can be prepared any way you like. Serve warm or chilled, as a main or as a side. Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Create your way to great taste.
You're so tasty. Drive me crazy. Ain't nothing I can do.
Rev up your engines and get ready for some high-octane action. GeForce TV is your one-stop destination for all the best racing action across Ontario. With free live coverage of the APC Series, Bushwick and Speedway, Southern Ontario Sprints, and much more. You won't miss a single moment of the excitement. Whether you're a die-hard fan or a casual viewer, GeForce TV has everything you need to stay up to date on the latest racing news and events. Head to our website at GeForceTV.net and start watching today.
Welcome back to Peterborough Speedway, the APC Autumn Colors Classic, presented by Toronto Motorama. It is time for feature racing, gentlemen.
We've gotten there. We've gone through all the qualifying heat races on night number one here at the Autumn Colors Classic. It's now time to go 25 laps at the Gen 3 Electrical Ontario Modified Racing Series for their championship event. Lead them to green to be the number 90 machine. Out of Newcastle, the Gen 3 Electric 4 Transmission, TNT Performance Products, All or Nothing Brewhouse, Sterling Tire, Clark Motorsports Communications, ELS Limited, Clintar Commercial Outdoor Services, Northtown Air, and Warren's Racing Ride of Rick Warren sits outside to be the 62 machine for the full steam ahead entry of Randy Hollingsworth. 3 machine, the Wayne James College of Uxbridge Ride, that is Shane Pollock. The 72 is Bob Franks, the New Discipline Center Torque Builders, Webb's Transmission Ride. Then it'll be the 63, your current points that will clinch the championship. Coming in tonight, the Jube Pub and Patio, Robson Solutions, Gen 3 Electrical, Falling and Bookkeeping, Oshawa Hearing Clinic Ride of JBJ John Baker Jr. Got to pause for the applause. And then it'll be the 46 machine, the Gorski Roofing, Ray Hobbs Garage, Carl's Racing Engines Ride of Tyler Bouillon. 83 machine is Andrew Massey, the Great North Storage Corner 5 Racing Ride. Then I believe it will be the number 61 of Rob Warren's of Newcastle, the Gen 3 Electrical Bork Transmission, TNT Performance Products, All or Nothing Brewhouse, Sterling Tire, Clark Motorsports Communications, ELS Limited, Clintar Commercial Outdoor Services, Northtown Air, and Warren's Racing. And rounding out the field will be the number 50 machine of Alex Cazilla, the RKA Trucking, Napa Auto Parts, Port Perry, PD McLaren Limited Ride. And with that, the floor covering International Peterborough Speedway Pace Truck starts to pull away. And the RMS Modifieds will line up behind it and get some heat in their tires, so they get set to fire off here for their 25-lap feature event. First feature of the weekend, part of the 30th Annual Autumn Colors Classic presented by EPC at Toronto Motorama.
JP heading down there with the hardware. The winner of this race is going to collect all they have to do is make it through the tech building when things are said and done, and they'll get to keep it.
Very critical part to this whole racing thing, you know?
Well, considering our tech lane isn't a building, so we're not worried about the drone going through and taking out the lights.
I have been contacted by Dave from Quick to say he may be done betting on drones, but says he could be persuaded this weekend. So we'll talk again when Abby shows up.
I'm sure at some point we'll have some time to fill, and we'll find something. We'll get creative. So field circulating around, getting set to go 25 laps here, night number 1 of the Autumn Colors Classic at Peterborough Speedway. Looks like field going to be given sign to double up down the back straightaway this time by. So we get set to turn them loose. First feature of the night, first feature of the weekend. It'll be Rick Warnes leading the field to green as we look for the championship feature here for the Gen 3 Electrical Ontario Modified Racing Series. Field doubles up. Looks like we'll give them one more lap at double file before we go white flag and extinguish the lights on the floor coverings International Peterborough Speedway pace truck. So I'd have to double check, but I think it's a rather large gap that Baker Jr. has.
Well, you've got some time. You've got a lap and a half. No pressure.
I believe when I was talking to him, he had to start Heat 1.
Yeah, 56 points was the gap coming in. So.
Yeah, if he started Heat 1, he was pretty much assured of the championship.
Well, he started Heat 1 and 2, so that was for sure a clincher then.
Field is bunched up. They're giving that pace truck a lot of space. See if they eat that up down the backstretch before the pace truck peels down onto pit lane.
There are veterans on the front row. Warren's on the inside. Hollingsworth on the outside, getting set to come to the Great Canadian RV. Green flag once again here to start our first feature of the night with the Ontario Modified Racing Series presented by Gen 3 Electric. And a big jump on the inside. For the 63 of Warren's, Pollock able to follow through. John Baker Jr. Hollingsworth up into the wall off a 2 on the back straightaway on his own. Going to drive that car high into 3. See if he keeps it off the wall off of 4. He does so. Top 3 nose to tail. John Baker Jr. now looking to the inside. Pollock down the back straightaway. As at the same time, the 46 of Bouillon made it to the inside of Massey for the 4th spot. Rick Warnes out in front. John Baker Jr. now going to work, try to run him down, and he's got clear of Shane Pollock. Bouillon trying to work his way forward up to the 4th spot, trying to run down Pollock. Top 2 nose to tail. They've broken away from 3rd place. Warnes out in front. John Baker Jr. trying to set up the move, looking to the inside. Gets sideways, sticks the nose in there. Warren slams the door shut down to 3 and 4. Baker Jr. doing what he can, trying to put that car as low on the racetrack as he can, but Warren's not leaving enough room to make a move that's going to work. See what happens this time again, trying to use that exit of pit road where the track's a little bit wider down the bottom. Baker Jr. now driving to the high side of the racetrack. Oh, way up high he goes, up to the 3rd lane, going to lose a bunch of ground to Warren's in the number 90 machine.
That was nearly a situation. Shane Pollock got loose off of turn 4, almost hooked Tyler Bouillon into the outside fence. Did a nice job to collect that car and take off in a straight line as we got more battles for the lead as John Baker Jr. showing a lot of patience right now.
Baker Jr. knows he's got the faster car, but just trying to be patient. Wants to keep the wheels on it. Looking at the inside of Rick Warnes, the veteran. The Gen 3 electric ride out in front, trying to hold off the Fotheringham bookkeeping number 63 machine. Warrens just slides up the hill just a little off of 2 and has to come back down to defend. Baker Jr. using all the real estate down low to the bottom side of the racetrack, gets loose that time off of 4. Warrens still able to hold on to the top spot. Bouillon has caught him as well as Godzilla. So top 4 now almost nose to tail at the front of the field here with the Gen 3 Electric Ontario Modified Racing Series feature event.
You can see Baker is toying with Warrens out in front. He wants to pass him clean. He's doing everything he can. But once Bouillon gets to his back bumper, that might change things quite a bit.
Although he's pushing Warrens. Warrens turned some of the fastest laps of the race that he has turned so far. And again, down in the 14.8s. He'd been a 14.9 was his fastest lap. Warrens up the hill. Baker Jr. now has the nose inside. Does he have enough? Warrens slams the door shut to turn number 3. The crafty veteran able to keep Baker Jr. behind him so far. Again, 14.827. So Warren's going faster and faster as this race moves along, picking up the pace as he gets more and more heat in those tires. Doing a great job down around the bottom side of the racetrack. Baker Jr. trying to find a way by. A little bit of a stab that time. He's 3 and 4 to the rear bumper of the 90 machine. Trouble for Andrew Massey. The 83 car going to hit pit road. No caution needed. He'll get the safety of the infield. Just past the halfway point now. 13 laps in, 12 laps to go at the line that last time by.
If you're Rick Warrens, you prefer when John Baker Jr. pushes you in the middle of the turn, because that means he can't set you up to drive to the inside. So contact is actually better than when John Baker Jr. drives to the outside going into the corner and tries to get off the turn on the bottom.
And that's why we call rubbing racing.
And as well, too, it breaks Baker's momentum. And he's got to take a moment to recollect himself before he can get on the loud pedal to get that run off the corner. But right now, 14.636 the last time by for Warrens. Warrens a tick quicker. And again, he has picked up 3/10 as this race has moved along. Out in front again, Baker Jr. looking to the inside. Warrens feeling a little more comfortable. Coming up off the bottom, running out to the wall down the front straightaway. He'll do so down the back straightaway. Baker unable to close up on him. 14.594 for Baker that last time by. So Baker still got more in the tank to go, but Warren's able to defend and just be quick enough to hold off the 63 machine so far. Again, Baker Jr. looking to the inside. Warren seen it coming, protected the bottom. That exit off of pit road, a veteran knows where that driver is going to go, and that's the spot to do it off of turn number 2. Is right down the bottom side of the racetrack. If the driver misses the turn ahead of you, that's where you're going to point and shoot. But right now, Warren's doing a good job out in front. Laps winding down for him. John Baker Jr. going to sense the urgency here as we head towards the deep waters here in this feature race.
With 6 laps to go, is that slower traffic going to be a factor? Are they going to catch him in 6 laps?
That will be the big question. They're going to be told to move down the bottom side of the racetrack, which might be the last thing that Warrens wants out in front. 5 to go at the line the last time by. Well, they catch the tail end of the field. Rob Warren's going to slide in line behind Randy Hollingsworth. They'll move to the bottom side of the racetrack. Where they catch him, looks like they will this time by Rob Warren's going to get on the brakes and let the leaders go by while Hollingsworth do the same down the back straightaway. Warren's going to have to go to the outside of the 62 of Randy's Hollingsworth. John Baker Jr. going to follow him up there on the high side of the racetrack, trying to get clear of the 62. Not able to do so that time, down to 1 and 2. Baker Jr. trying to set up the move. But Warren's able to come back down the racetrack and take that bottom groove away. They'll come to Popsicle 6 on the line this time by. 2 laps to go for the Ontario Modified Racing Series. Warren's looking for an Autumn Colors Classic win. John Baker Jr. looking for the championship. Into turn 1 and 2. Baker looks low once again. Doesn't have enough of a run to the inside. Warren's able to protect. Baker lays off trying to get the run. They'll come to the white flag this time by. Warren's able to protect the bottom. Baker up the hill. Into 1 and 2. Where's Baker going to go? Tries to set up, leaves a little bit of room. Warren's going to get the run off the bottom. Baker looking maybe to the high side. This time in 3 and 4. Off of 4, checkered flag in the air. It'll be Rick Warrens with the win. John Baker Jr. for second in the championship. Tyler Bouillon for third. Alex Godzilla fourth. And Pollock will round out the top 5.
Bob Franks in the 72 finishing 6th. Randy Hollingsworth down a lap finishing 7th. And the 61 of Rob Warrens also down a lap finishing in 8th. Andrew Massey with a DNF in the 83.
That was a merciful performance by John Baker Jr. He had his opportunities. to take matters into his hands and get more assertive. And to his credit, he didn't do it. He has the championship regardless. He only had to start tonight in the heat races. That was a pretty classy feature run by John Baker Jr.
I also think, I was talking to John Baker Jr. Before the race. I don't think he was running with much of the front brakes. I believe the pads were removed. He had an issue with the balancing of the brakes, and he opted to basically not use front brakes.
That's not easy to do.
No. So, and to run as hard as he did just kind of spells why he's the champion.
So Clinton Jeffrey is down on the scene. Celebrations ongoing for John Baker Jr. on a championship performance. While Rick Warrens prepares to get out of the car in victory lane.
John Baker Jr. doing donuts all the way down to turn 4.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Rick Warren's ready to climb out here. Your OMRS feature winner here tonight. Here he comes out of the number 90 car. We'll get a quick word with him here as he pounds the roof. And we'll talk about that run here tonight. Rick, what a drive. You know, Baker was on your butt that whole race, and he was knocking, but I think he raced you pretty clean and classy out there.
I felt him a couple of times, but I wasn't going to give him the bottom at all costs.
You catch your breath.
This one's for Dad.
You got anybody else you want to thank, Rick?
Where do you start? I mean, Johnny.
John Baker Jr. in here to give him a big hug and a handshake, and we'll talk to John in just a moment. Rick, what do you got to finish us off with?
I can't thank enough people, really. I mean, my crew, my son Rob and Dennis, Tom Kazilla. It's a first feature win, man, in all my racing.
First win ever? Yes. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? His first win ever in anything. That's a special moment. Congrats, Rick.
You know, Clint, ask him one more question. How long has Rick Warren's been racing? Because it is a little while.
How long have you been racing, Rick?
You don't want to know.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, you don't want to know.
How many years have you been racing to get this one win?
I think 1981.
Well, that's a lot of math.
Wow. And fantastic. How about a round of applause for that, folks, for Rick Warren's.
2 years.
Started in at Sunset, was a regular in the Super Street Stock division through the late 80s.
And I want to say he raced on the Moseport Oval. The Warrens family has just been around.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
forever.
His dad, I believe, Mr. Clean, Doug Warrens, going back to Pinecrest days. So
good for him. And good for John Baker Jr. for not roughing him up. Because Rick did a nice job of running the line he wanted to run and being defensive. And it doesn't always work out. But Clinton Jeffrey is with the champion.
Well, John, champion again. That's pretty cool, and great crew out here as they are every week to cheer you on. What a run tonight. You raced them really clean. You knew you just had to take the green to win the championship, and Rick got his first win in 42 years, so pretty special for both you guys tonight.
Yeah, no, it was great. I raced against Rick a lot, and every time he short moved over on me, closed the hole, I gave him a little shot, but I'm not dumping him or turning him around. I'd rather finish second. I'm just as pumped about second, and we're going to go after tonight and still be friends and enjoy ourselves. And I love winning, but I'm not winning that way.
Talk about winning the championship, John.
Oh, total blast. We've been working with some other people this year. Gord Shepard, come on, give me a hand. We've been trying all kinds of different stuff, and went for a whole different package for this deal, and I was pretty excited with today. So hopefully this moves us into next year even faster. This thing was just a rocket ship. A little bit tight getting into 3. I'm going to whine to him about that later.
You look pretty good. Congratulations, champ.
Thanks a bunch. It's been a long time since we talked, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, your luck just ran out. John Baker Jr., the OMRS champ, here tonight.
A good cheering section is
got one more
real
over
important.
Here.
Clinton Jeffrey heading down to Tyler Bouillon
Tyler, solid run here tonight. You know, anytime you can finish third in a tough field at Autumn Colors is a pretty solid day.
It was. We started off a little bit rough. We were tight loose, very loose. Car was very unpredictable, but my team got it covered. And huge thanks to Dave Taylor for working his magic on this thing. It was a good handling car. Throttle was sticking a little bit towards the end there, and the brakes were faded. I just kind of fell off a bit. I wish I could have been a little bit closer at the end, but it all went well, and we got a trophy of it.
Solid drive. Tyler Bouillon will be third. John Baker Jr. will come second and take the championship. And how about a hand for Rick Warrens, his first win in 42 years behind the wheel. We'll be right back live at Autumn Colors here from Peterborough Speedway on GeForce TV in just a moment.
When your dream car becomes a nightmare, leaving you frustrated, stranded, and broke, you say,
Goodbye, you piece of Let's take it to TKC.
What? You gotta pee?
TKC!
Let's take this piece of to TKC Metal Recycling. They pay cash for scrap cars.
TKC will recycle your piece of car. Got a piece of car? Visit TKC Metal Recycling, 20 Cushman Road, St. Catharines.
Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Our savory pesticides can be prepared any way you like. Serve warm or chilled, as a main or as a side. Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Create your way to great taste.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick Quick perfected fire. Quick Quick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick Quick retailer at quickquick.com.
Rev up your engines and get ready for some high-octane action. GeForce TV is your one-stop destination for all the best racing action across Ontario. With free live coverage of the APC Series, Bushwick Speedway, Southern Ontario Sprints, and much more. You won't miss a single moment of the excitement. Whether you're a die-hard fan or a casual viewer, GeForce TV has everything you need to stay up to date on the latest racing news and events. Head to our website at GeForceTV.net and start watching today.
Welcome back to Peterborough Speedway. It's the APC Autumn Colors Classic presented by Toronto's Motorama. John Baker Jr. and crew posing in victory lane for their championship shots. And we've got more Legends heat races coming up. Another round of heat races for the Legends Series, and then a couple of non-winners races for the mini stocks and for the super stocks to cap off the night.
It's been good so far. A lot of good racing action. Very clean racing.
Yeah, it's good, aggressive, clean racing, which we don't always. Now, granted, it's been more than 20 years since I've been here for Autumn Colors, but I know it can get pretty spirited.
That's a very gentle and diplomatic way of putting it.
I mean, I've been coming here long enough that, I mean, we used to, like Friday night was literally just practice and a party. You used to run the 2 heat races, the last chance qualifier, everything on Saturday. And that seemed to be like, it made things more intense. Yeah, this Friday night, this 1 heat race, you got, some time to cool down, you come back at it tomorrow. Things like that, it seems to have changed the mentality. Whereas before it was like, okay, like I got to avoid the last chance qualifier that's going to be this afternoon. Like, if I wreck this thing, I got to fix it before that last chance. It's everyone was kind of amped up to try to get as much as they could, as quick as they could, and it seems to have changed a little bit, with having an extra day in there and kind of spreading things out a little bit.
And that last chance qualifier, it was checkers or wreckers.
Well, that's the thing with this event being the last race of the season. You know, it's not just about qualifying for the show. It's about clearing your dashboard of all the numbers you've written on it. Okay, I owe 1 to the 11. I owe 1 to the 20. You've got to make sure if you go into the off season and you haven't cleared that dashboard of all the people you owe, you're not going to feel good about it. Whether that means beating them on the track, whether that means causing them some discomfort, whatever the case might be, this was the weekend to do it.
There's also something about the autumn colors that I've noticed over the years. It's being called an autumn colors champion. If you're an Autumn Colors Classic champion, that goes with you no matter where you go. You get introduced as, you know, you've won this race, you've won that race. You're an Autumn Colors champion, you're a track champion, but you're also an Autumn Colors champion.
I've got my picture from right down there, 1999. So, yeah, it stays with you. Nobody can take that from me.
Absolutely.
All right, here we go. Qualifying heat race number 3. For the Trailers Plus Canadian Legend Cars, leading them on the 07 machine. That is Jeff McKibben and Lindsay. The next level expediting fourth, the vinyl ride. It's going to be the 02 of Andrew McFadden, the Grassroots Racing Brass Inc. ride. And then it should be Caleb Drimmy in the out of Peterborough, the KOD Schools of Met Carpentry ride. Then it'll be Wes Cuthbertson, the Flying Colors Corp Canrack Storage Systems entry. 51 machine is Josh Inglis out of Cold Bar, the Snow County RV on Auto Sales. Bronley Automotive, Paul Sala Motors, AC Plus Automotive. Sunshine Car Wash and Detailing, ground level contract, Pinnacle Graphics, Wally's, and Enerson Trucking aboard that ride. It'll be the 21 machine of Mitch Wright. Adam Curtis, BG Towing and Recovering Durham Fight Series, TJP Painting. Then after him, it would be the 17Z, or the 90 of Jordan Latimer. The Latimer Sailing Service, Creature Designs, IC Heavy Haulage, Tax Smart Bookkeeping entry, driving the sedan. Then it'll be Parker Traves, the 60-year reigning series champion and current points leader through the year here, looking to clinch another championship at the Gravenhurst, Peter Nicolai Concrete Finishing, T&M Auto Body, Canadian Legend Cars, KRA Automotive ride. And that'll be the 79 machine of Adam Cuthbertson, the Flying Colors Corp Canrack Storage Systems drive. 57 machine of Josh Hicks out of Hampton, Georgia. Driving the Canadian Legend Cars entry. And then the 08 of Steve Guru has been scratched for this heat race. Out of Owen Sound, the Wyerton Home Hardware, Wyerton Home Design Center, Orangeville Opticians, Jackson Construction, South Coast Capital Partners ride. There we go. So that is your starting lineup for heat number 3 for the Trailers Plus Canadian Legend Cars. We get set to fire off. They'll come to the white flag this time by light to be extinguished. On the floor coverings, International Peterborough Speedway Pace Truck. And we get set to fire once again here, round number 2 of qualifying for the Trailers Plus Canadian Legend Cars. So they were supposed to have a non-winners race. They decided to opt out of that and just go right into their second round of qualifying. So McKibben on the inside, McFadden on the outside, and lead the field to green. Looking once again for the Great Canadian RV green flag, part of the APC Autumn Colors Classic presented by Toronto Motorama. Racing once again with the Trailers Plus Canadian Legend Cars. And McFadden going to get the jump in the 02 machine. He'll go to the top spot, and that's going to bring Cuthbertson with him. The 97 machine of Wesley Cuthbertson up to second. Mitch Wright to third. We got contact. Cars down the hill. Caleb Drimmy and Adam Cuthbertson taking the evasive maneuvers down through the infield grass, but out front it's going to be his brother Wesley going to the top spot in the 97 machine. That's going to bring Mitch Wright with them. Here comes the B&G Towing and Recovery 21 machine all over the rear bumper, your leader now.
That was a nice job by Adam Cuthbertson. Going off the track into the grass to avoid that contact, not easy to do.
Not in those cars. You're always on the wheel. It's a handful.
Latimer up to the 4th spot. Josh Hicks from deep in the field now up to 5th, trying to work his way forward after picking up the win in the first round of qualifying. They'll come to cross side the line this time by 4 laps in, 4 laps to go for Cuthbertson at the front of the field. Trying to hold on to the top spot. Mitch Wright unable to close up in that 21 machine. Parker Trace trying to close in on the front pair. Here late in the going, trying to close in on the rear Nerf bar. That was teammate in the 21 machine. Those cars both of the Canadian Legend Car stable. Wright gets on the loud pedal now, trying to make another run at Cuthbertson for the top spot. Gets to the rear Nerf bar a little bit, that time into turn number 3, trying to find a way past the Flying Colors Corp Canrack Storage Systems number 97 ride. Right down over the curb. Got to be careful that he doesn't free up that car too much, because that'll open the door for Parker Traves to shoot past him here. They'll come to white flag this time by, I believe. Yeah, shooting the white flag that time by. Final time down the back straightaway. Clinton trying to hold on to this one. Into 3 off of 4 right, unable to make a move. It'll be Cuthbertson picking up the win. Right for second, Traves in third, Foisey fourth, and Latimer rounding out the top 5.
Man, battles all the way to the back of that one.
Andrew McFadden finishing off in 6th. He was battling it out with Josh English in the 51J for 7th. Steve Garou in the 08 finishing 8th. Adam Cuthbertson, 2-time past champion, in the 79 finishing 9th. Caleb Drummy in the 34 finishing 10th. And Jeff McGibbon in the 07 finishing off the back of the field in 11th.
Right now, pulling down into victory lane, the Flying Colors Corp Canrack Storage Systems number 97 machine. Put your hands together for Wes Cuthbertson. As the 4th and final qualifying heat race now rolling to the track for the Trailers Plus Canadian Legend Car Series, leading them off, the 36T machine out of Alma, the Jim Bowman Remax, Maple Well Mortgages, Protect Sprinkler Services ride of Todd Tolton. Then it'll be the Emmer 8 machine, the Rail and Metal Fabrication entry of Anthony Enerson. 78S is Joe the Tank Sherman out of Angus, the AMSOIL dealer, Homework Certified Home Inspections of Angus, and Dump and Move Bin Rentals ride. Former mini stock competitor turned legend racer. 25 machine, that is Keaton Pike out of Whitby, the Infinite Motorsports, Hit Motorsports, Element Canada, Safe Auto Transport and Storage, Canada Cone Ice Cream and Novelties, Intra International Marketing, Resell it, Vehicle Customization, Stark Realty, Century 21 ride. Then be the 77 machine out of Hampton, the IBOC Canada, Metal Factory, Walton Restorations, RV Somerville, Chippers Custom Painting, Pete Larkin Salvage, Abutment Technologies, and Wait Feather Farms ride of Glenn Morris. 44 machine out of Owen Sound. The Lawyers Race Shop entry is Jason Legg. Then it'll be the 78 machine out of Caledon, feature winner this year with the Great Lakes Legend Series, and a former Bone Stock Track champion up at Sunset Speedway. The Green Tractors branch of DSI Heavy Equipment, CDP Diesel and Auto, Silverbowl Landscaping, Marshall Race Fuels, Rob's Used Rubbers, Immatraps.ca, and Epic Race Car ride of Matt Boys. Then it'll be the 31 machine, former Ontario Sportsman Series champion out of Hamilton, the 2-Speed Motorsports, Mason's Place, JF Enterprises, Latimer Sealing Service, Immatraps.ca, Lindy of Barrie, John for car owner Jade Franklin. That would be Connor James aboard the 31 machine. Then it would be the 300 machine, the Grassroots Racing entry of Cole McFadden. And that'll be the 17Z, the Little Gambler Zach Latimer, the Latimer Sealing Service, Creature Designs, ICI Heavy Hauling, Tax Smart Bookkeeping ride. And 66 of Dawson Tribune will round out the field. The Met Carpentry Clark Carpentry KOD Disposal, number 66 machine, comes in tonight's second in points, trailing Parker Traves, trying to close in on the 66 machine. All right, so here we go.
Lights are out on the floor coverings International Peterborough Speedway pace truck. It'll dip down to the infield, this time by
Tolton on the inside, Enerson the outside. Going to lead the field to green, qualifying heat race number 4 for the Trailers Plus Canadian Legend Cars. Looking for the Great Canadian RV. Green flag off at turn number 4. Field starts to pick up the pace. They come to the green. See if they let that one go. Enerson with a big jump on the field over the 36 of Tolton. Down the back straightaway they go. Caution lights don't come on, so we'll stay racing with the Trailers Plus Legend Series. Joe Sherman.
There was no way they were all going to make it through turn 3 there. I mean, there's only 3 grooves going into the corner, and there were 5 different lines being used. People crisscrossing.
I know I seen the 78. He locked up the front wheels trying to get it wound up. We'll get the replay here.
And it's almost too much happening to describe, but I think the 78 of Matt Boyes locking his brakes up sliding up the track might have, but I mean, there was a lot of contributing factors.
Well, it was the 78 of Joe Sherman that locked up his wheels, but as he locked them up, he was going to be okay, but he got a shot from behind. You'll see it here at the last second. So Sherman knows he's kind of, there he is, he's on the brakes, he locks him up, and here comes the shot from behind.
Yep.
That gets the foot off the brake. And
the shot from behind was from Matt Boyce in the 78, and I was talking about Joe Sherman, the other 78. My apologies.
When you get a 78 on 78 crime like that, it's really hard to distinguish who was at fault. But
this is true.
We'll just say the 78 was.
Yeah.
But they did all stay off the wall.
They did. Connor James, the crew is talking to Connor in the race car.
I don't know if they're trying to maybe push him off. Still got the helmet on and everything, so maybe he's telling a story. Everyone's gallanting around, so.
I don't know how much experience Connor has on these cars. Does he have much?
He campaigned a few races out here at Peterborough Speedway going back, I want to say either 21 or pre-COVID, one of the two.
Because it looked like he was trying to find neutral to get a push start and then grab a gear.
Yeah. It has been a little while, but he did make a few starts out here at Peterborough Speedway.
Yeah, guys, he's been asking for a push down here. As you can see, they're giving it their best, but might need some mechanical help.
Yeah, that the cleanup crew, there was many gathered around for the story, but only 2 stuck around for the push.
The vehicle with the push bumper just passed by.
I wonder if the push bar is low enough on that. That might be part of the problem.
There's only one way to find out, Brendan.
Yeah.
I think they're on your side, Adam, because I was right in front of it. They pushed them all the way over here, and I had to walk all the way over here.
That we asked them to do that. Just make sure you push the car as far away from Clinton as you can.
Success.
Yeah, it's the cleanup crew pointing at the tow truck.
They're calling their shot. They're pointing. It's like Babe Ruth. They're pointing to where they want him to go.
Oh, we got an ATV. There we go.
It's low enough.
All right, let's see. Don't be shy.
Is it going to work? That's the big question. I think it might have worked.
I don't think it worked.
No?
Maybe it did. Maybe it's running and he's just waiting for the field to go by.
No, he's trying to get off the racetrack, I think. Failure to launch.
Well, it was fun while it lasted.
See if the team was there, maybe? No one around. Just going to go back to the pit area, so that'll bring an end to Connor James's 2 eventful heat races.
Well, when it comes feature time, he's going to have a lot of cars he's able to pass. Hopefully. I believe he'll be starting deep in it. Field is doubled up. We'll come to the 1 to go.
So it'll be a complete restart. 0 laps on the board. 8 laps remaining. Qualifying heat race number 4 for the Trailers Plus on Canadian Legend cars. So lights are extinguished once again on the Floor Coverings International Peterborough Speedway pace truck. It'll get set to hit pit road. Tolton and Anderson going to lead him to green. Anderson got the big jump lap last time. Will Tolton be ready for it this time? That will be hard to tell. Let's see what happens here off of turn number 4. Tolton was ready for it. Had a better launch this time, but ultimately got loose off of turn number 4. That's going to allow Anderson to get by, and up the hill goes Tolton. And we got a big
trouble
lick to the outside wall. Matt Boyce, heavy impact with the right side of that car as he rolls down the back straightaway. I believe that Cole McFadden stopped up there in the 300 machine.
Yeah, I believe the left front is what Boyce caught the most with that car, because it spun awkwardly. spun the wrong way around off of 2, and I believe got the left front corner of the car and spit him back out fairly quickly.
So that'll happen when Tolton slid up the hill in front of the field. Boys was already loose behind them. And when that car hooked, off they went.
Great work by the camera crew. Get a couple of angles of that incident.
Yeah, I just assumed it was the field stacking up when the 36 came up the hill, but Boys was sideways, and that car just, when it hooked, off he went. But he's not getting out of the car. I think he's like, the wheels look straightish. The body, the Nerf bar, not so much.
No, you're right.
But I think he's trying to see if he can continue on.
Clint, what are the chances?
Well, here, Matt, boys, I think it's all right. The front end geometry looks good. You can see a bit of the shroud, and the front bumper is going to be the biggest problem, guys. It is dragging there, and they're going to need to get that one worked on before he can continue. Medic's in here to take a word with him, make sure he's all right. He appears to be giving them a thumbs up.
We'll have another look. The boys got loose. And, I mean, there's just no room for error because cars are stacked up beside you, behind you. They're all over the place.
I think that was a hard enough hit to the wall to bring out the paramedics for safety reasons. But, yes, with the thumbs up already to the paramedics, drivers, it seems to be okay.
It's hard to see a car with all those people gathered around it. Haven't seen much of the Cole McFadden 300 machine to see what the damage is like on that car. I don't think anybody else really got a piece of that.
No, just the two of them. I mean, Jason Lake got into the rear of Tolton when he came up the hill, but that was ahead of this incident.
And it looks like they're fixing to push off the Matt Boys machine. We'll have one more look at this from a different camera angle.
You know, Boys is sideways, and I really wonder if he got help from behind. It's hard to see. He might have got a shot from the rear, and that's because normally those cars don't get that loose on their own. So I'm pretty sure he got a shot from behind, and that is what got him loose. And then when he caught that car, that's what sent him up the hill, because it's so hard to tell, but it might have been the 17Z just from behind. Just got that rear Nerf bar just a little bit, and you see Boys going off with the push.
Chain reaction, let's
see. Ladder makes an evasive move to the left there, so you have to wonder if that's maybe after the contact. The other view had a good view of it there, the other angle.
We've got Octopus 1 and Octopus 2 down in the trailer. They're the ones that do the replays and the rewinding. There's hands everywhere.
So, just trying to see. Yeah, we just catch the very tail end of it.
It's the beginning of it.
If it.
Great work to catch what happened. So, folks, if you're in the grandstands and you're wondering what the heck are these people talking about, go on YouTube on your phone, look up GeForce TV, and you don't need to use it to watch the action. Just look in front of you to watch the action. But when it comes to replays,
and here's the secret. So it's about 1.5 to 2 laps behind. So if you are quick enough after seeing the accident, you can catch it in live
see
time,
it the first time
on
relive
YouTube. You don't even have to wait for us to stop talking and a replay to come up. You'll catch it as it happens.
It's true. It's been really cool to talk to some of the race teams that actually use it to know what's hurt on the race cars before the car gets towed into them. They're watching, they're up to speed. On the dirt tracks, Clint's pretty savvy with what breaks on these cars, so he gives them a heads up on the parts they're going to need.
And I mean, too, if you watch enough, like if you watch Chili Bowl, they don't have a view of the racetrack, so they are sitting in those race cars, and they've got, a tablet or a phone or something, and they're watching the live feed of the heat race before them, so they know what the track's doing. So, I mean, stuff like this is just a handy tool for racers all around, to see what, on a dirt track what it's doing. Not really going to change here. The bottom is the bottom, top is the top, but, if you haven't been on the track in a while on a dirt track, it's good to see what the track's doing, right?
And whatever is the next race to come out, they've got to be going stir crazy back there because you're in your car, you're lined up, you're ready to go, just sitting.
And I'm just thinking, he said chili bowl, now I'm hungry.
That you've been waiting. There was a look on your face like I'm waiting to say something. I'm just Put me in, Coach. I'm ready. And that's what you come
That's my
with.
segue to some of the great food here at Peterborough Speedway.
Well
There we
done.
go.
Do you guys still have the different hot dogs?
Yeah.
Yeah, we will on probably tomorrow and Sunday.
Well, I went down into the pits and had a bacon burger. They
yeah.
call it a Mad Dog.
That's
I think
it.
mozzarella cheese, couple of
Yeah.
strips of bacon on a hot dog. I didn't try it today, but it is on my mind for later this weekend because the salad bar is closed.
Yeah.
So you've got to choose from.
Salad
What?
bar?
Sorry, did I not put out my sarcasm? I should have put on my sarcasm light.
Sold out like it was a legit thing.
That's what food eats.
That's right.
All right, Four Coverings International pace truck hits pit road, down a few cars. We get going once again here. Trailers Plus Canadian Legend cars, green flag in the air once again. Anderson with the big jump. On the top side of the racetrack, he'll go to the top spot. Tolton back to second now. Here comes Pike looking for room to work in the 25 car, looking to the inside of the 36 down the back straightaway into turn number 3. He'll stick the nose in there. He's got the 30 of McFadden knocking on the back door. Down the front straightaway, Nerf bar and Nerf bar as they head towards turn number 1. And McFadden finally able to get rid of the 25 off the front Nerf bar of his car. And not in a very nice manner, especially for Todd Tolton, getting put 3 wide up high on the top side of the racetrack. Anderson.
Whoa, his heat never sideways going into 1.
Big slide for Cole McFadden, that time down to 1 as he's got Zach Latimer all over his rear Nerf bar now, and there might be something wrong in that 300 car. Glenn Morris goes around the 77 car. He might keep it going. Thought he was pointing in the right direction. See if he gets out of the grass here down the low side. He'll get back on the racetrack. Should be no caution needed, but we got Todd Tolton around down the front straightaway. He's going to get going. He'll come back on the racetrack. No caution needed once again.
McFadden looks like he's going to dip down in the infield halfway through this qualifying heat race.
It looks like whatever was hanging on by a thread after the impact with the outside wall finally let go.
I think there's something on the racetrack. The driver of the 44 just went by the front stretch with his hand out the window. I'm not sure.
Yeah, Latimer's having a hard time holding on to that car as well, so there might be some fluid right in the racing groove of the racetrack for these drivers because everybody's slip sliding away down the back straightaway. Not so bad for Latimer, but if you watch him come off at 2, he was really pedaling that 17Z machine.
They're going to throw the caution.
So that maybe...
Yeah, I've got to think there's something on the track.
And I would guess maybe off the 300 of McFadden. Maybe that was what caused him to get loose with the big slide down to 1, whatever fluid he was dumping, maybe onto his own tires. And he took a lap or 2 around, so... And the cleanup crew over there, so they're probably able to evaluate if there is fluid coming off that 300 car.
Started heating and air conditioning, cleanup, and safety crew heading out onto the track now. Trying to have a close look at the track while more of the safety crew are checking on McFadden.
Quite often you can't see from up here what they'll be able to see down at the track level. Clint, do you have any view of...
No, I didn't see anything that... I mean, I saw the same thing you guys were seeing with the cars getting loose. But I don't see anything out here. I don't see the track crew laying down any speedy dry right now, so... Everybody just kind of puzzled.
They found something here in turn number 4, but I believe that's solid debris. They're going to go up and kick it out of the way.
Well, they're all walking up here and kind of checking out the traction, and I don't see anything out here. No shiny lines, no oil.
I think the answer is going to be in the 300 machine, whether he burst a brake line maybe in his... Okay, we're getting a report of one car leaking water out, so if that's the case, it'll be on the track for the next couple of drivers, but it'll dissipate. So the evidence could be gone. So there's a little bit of attrition in this here heat race. The cleanup crew heads back to pit road. They're going to deal with the 300 of Cole McFadden, or parked beside him anyhow. will double up the field.
You know, I thought we started with more cars than this. Down to 5 left.
And no sign of oil here under the 300, guys.
Our Johnny on the spot, Clinton Jeffrey.
There's a red Pontiac 5. This is number ALZ0477. Red Pontiac 5.
All right, so we'll get back to racing here. Lights once again extinguished. Looks like 3 laps remain on the scoreboard here. Pace truck going to hit pit road. Latimer on the inside, Leg on the outside. Coming back to the Great Canadian RV, green flag once again. Green flag in the air. Latimer gets the jump with Tax Smart Bookkeeping. 17Z Machine. Leg up to second. 25 Machine. Runs in the 3rd spot, trying to hold off the 8 of Anthony Enerson. Keaton Pike working the bottom side of the racetrack. That car very loose. And he falls all the way to the tail of the field. Here comes the white flag this time by on heat race number 4 for the Trailers Plus Canadian Legend cars. One more trip around the park for Zach Latimer. He wants to pick up the heat win here. And he will do so off of turn number 4. Jason Legg going to come home in the 2nd spot. 3rd will go to Anthony Enerson. Todd Tolton in 5th. And Keaton Pike will round out the top 5.
And all finishing with a DNF of the 77 of Glenn Morris, the 300 of Cole McFadden, Dawson Drimmie in the 66, 78S of Joe Sherman, Connor James in 31, and Matt Boys in the 78. So a lot of attrition in this 8-lap qualifying heat.
A lot of nutrition. A lot of that and that. All right, down to Victor Lane, though, the 17Z Machine. The Latimer Ceiling Surface Creature Designs, ICI Heavyology Tax Smart Bookkeeping Ride. Make some noise. Your Heat 4 winner, Zach Latimer.
You know, the irony there, it seems like some of this racing is taking a long time. I just looked at our schedule. The mini stock non-winner feature is scheduled to roll out at 9:05 on the paper schedule. That's pretty impressive.
Gotta like it. We were discussing earlier, people were asking what time the racing would be done. Well, that hard out on the itinerary.
I need to knock on some wood somewhere.
I've been watching the schedule all night. I didn't say nothing till the end. Thankfully, hopefully Adam didn't curse us here.
Even if I did, Clinton, what are you going to do about it?
I notice on the days that you're staying at the races for the weekend, you're quite all right with the curse. On the nights you got to get home to bed, everybody better shut up.
When I'm staying at the track, that's when I go to bed the earliest.
Yeah, I know, right?
Come on, you're not going to party at the band tonight? Like, you know?
I'm telling you, at Delaware, they were still on the cool-down lap, and I think I was in bed.
And then I came back, Brendan, and I asked him, I said, Adam, you need to get power going? He said no. So we lived in the dark, didn't even want any lights on or nothing all weekend.
And you're that tired, you don't even fire up the generator. That's impressive.
Can barely find the bathroom. That's the story Adam wants to tell you guys later.
Listen, I will share that story later.
Let's talk about what we got going on here, guys. Non-winners races. What does it mean? How do you get into it?
So if you haven't won a race in your respective division and you have raced full-time this year at your home track, you're able to enter. So that's essentially the outlines for this. So all these drivers campaigned full-time, mostly full-time at their home tracks, and did not score a feature win. So they're going to get the a shot at it here.
And that's the Switch Tire Mini Stock starting off for the non-winners races tonight. On the pole position, the number 80 out of Innisfil, Ontario is Coleridge Finnemore. In the flashover window fashions, Vestacon, TKO Renovations, Lake House Property Management sponsored ride. On his outside, and the number 22 is Chandler Boss in the out of Innisfil, Ontario. In the Boss Welding and Fabrication, Harpin Lumber and Trusses, LJ Services, and Maylang Burger Station. In row number 2, in the Daddy-Daughter Racing, Lakeside Mobile Tires, Canadian Tech Air Systems, Swift Hoist Services, sponsored number 84 out of Ajax, Ontario, is Rob Crick. On his outside, and the number 83 out of Moorfield, Ontario, is Bob Stewart. In row number 3 out of Coldwater, Ontario, in the Lloyd Hollage Mapleview Tires Barrie Standout Auto Glass Aurelia, is the number 57 of Chris Inglis. Out of Newcastle, Ontario, in the B&W Enterprises Harley Consulting Easton Cap Sales Elite Truck and Trailer Repair, number 46 is Tyler McMurder. He's going to run scratch. We're not able to make it out, Tyler McMurder. Number 22X is Tyler Croft in the Goat Transport Sign Hub Taunton Tire Big Boy Burger sponsored ride. The Plastic Glass KP's Auto Kawartha Duties HB Cycle Pete Hamilton Auto Moet Vinyl, number 38 is Carol Ducky Dawson. Out of Innisfil, Ontario, in the Boss Welding and Fabrication, Tappan Lumber and Trusses, LJ Services, Mac Lang Burger Station, Blade Cutters, and Canadian Equipment Outfitters, number 1 is Bob Finnemore. And rounding off the field in the BT Racing 2-Speed Motorsports, Worries Tire Field, Jim's Finish Line Auto Trans and Jibs, the number 46X of Wade Thorne.
There you go. There's your lineup for the non-winners race. Letting these drivers circle around, get some heat in these tires before we double them up. What's the lap count on this? I want to say 20 laps. That sounds about right. Like I say, I'm winging this till I make it. I have a schedule. You don't have a lap on it. It just says mini stock non-winner.
Most recently, I was told 15 laps the distance.
All right. Well, if we throw halfway, then we'll know for sure halfway through this one. So I feel that's a good test on how to measure things. So field is doubled up. Lights extinguish on the floor covering International Peterborough Speedway Pace Truck. Ilhipin Road this time by Coleridge, Fenor, Chandler Boss can lead the field to green off a turn number 4 as they look for the Great Canadian RV green flag. Field comes to life on loud pedal off a turn number 4. Rob Crick taking a look at the inside. Coleridge, Fenor didn't have enough of a run. Coming up to the gearbox down the front straightaway. Fenimore and Boss able to distance himself from the second row. Boss working the high side of the racetrack. Coleridge, Fenimore down low, side by side. Daytona Bob, Fenimore down the hill. A little bit of contact with the 22X of Tyler Croft. Working the high side of the racetrack is the 1 machine. Now looking to the outside of Chris Inglis for the 4th spot. Chandler Boss can move the nose out in front ahead of the 80 of Coleridge. Fenimore going to try to slide down the hill. Does not do so this time through 3 and 4. Down the front straightaway. The Mac Lang Sunridge 22 machine now out in front. Starting to pull away from the 80 Coleridge. Fenimore under attack from the 84. Rob Crick looking the high side of the racetrack. That time turn number 3. Falls in line back behind the Honda Civic of Coleridge. Fenimore side by side for 4th. Daytona Bob Fenimore rolling the high side of the racetrack. The outside of the Soundbelt Autoglass 57 machine of Chris Inglis. The Burger Station Canadian Equipment Outfitters number 1 machine. Now the 4th spot. Inglis has to contest with Jibs Action Sports 46X machine of Wade Thorne all over the rear bumper of the 57 machine now. Look to the outside. Will the 46 doesn't have enough of a run that time through 1 and 2. Fenimore pulling away. Out in front the 22 machine. Calmly and casually building the lead over Coleridge. Fenimore who runs in second. Fenimore's got some breathing room now over Rob Crick. Daytona Bob Fenimore trying to run down the 84 machine. Might have been a bit of contact there between the 22X of Tyler Croft and the 46 of Wade Thorne as they race behind the 57 of Chris Inglis just outside the top 5. Inglis now going to slide up the hill a little, comes back down the racetrack. That Volkswagen Golf takes the lane away from Thorne as they race off a 2 and down the back straightaway. Thorne has enough. He'll work to the high side of the racetrack now. taking the Jibs Action Sport ride up to the High Rent District. Down the front straightaway they go. That's the battle for the 5th on the racetrack.
Battle for 5th still heating up. Chris Inglis working down on the inside. Wade Thorne taking the high line. Almost making the pass as they cross the line, but he's continuing that door-to-door battle through 1 and 2 and down the backstretch into 3 and 4.
And they crossed flags last time by, so that was 8 laps in, 7 to go. So that was our halfway point of this 15-lap event for the mini stock non-winners. Chandler Boss starting to catch the tail of the field now. Going to put a couple cars a lap down here. Carol Dawson and Bob Stewart in the 83 machine. They'll move to the bottom side of the racetrack. Boss going to go up to the 2nd and 3rd groove through 1 and 2. Down the back straight, we're looking to the outside of Stewart. Stewart going to move down to the bottom of the racetrack as the leader circulates past. Coleridge Fenimore going to have that same obstacle now ahead of him. Dawson off the bottom just a little as Fenimore goes to her outside, down through 1 and 2. Stewart down around the curb as the 80 works to his outside, this time off a turn number 4. Laps winding down for Coleridge Fenimore. It'll be Popsicle 6 at the line next time by. 3 laps to go on the board, 2 to go next time by here in the mini stock non-winners race. It seems nice smooth sailing so far for Chandler Boss. The 22 car, he has been fast many times this year up at Sunset Speedway, but has been able to seal the deal with the feature win, and it looks like he'll be able to do so if he can make him one more trip around the park here at Peterborough Speedway. He'll be able to pick up the non-winners trophy down in Dart Heating and Air Conditioning Victory Lane. Down the back straightaway into 3 off of 4. Rob Crick trying to make the move for 2nd. Boss with the win. Coleridge Fenimore up the hill. Rob Crick going to go to 2nd. Fenimore back to 3rd. 4th will go to Bob Fenimore. And Wade Thorne will round out the top 5.
Chandler Boss driving down to park it on the checkered tiles in Victory Lane.
Wasn't sure where he was going for a minute, but finally found his way there.
Well, if you're a non-winner, you wouldn't know where it was.
Good point. Well, as Chandler Boss gets everything undone, we'll hand things trackside to Clinton Jeffrey.
Thanks, Brendan. Chandler in here works his belts off. He will get out here and pick up this beautiful trophy. Will be presented as a new first-time winner. Here he comes, ladies and gentlemen. How about it for Chandler Boss here in the Peterborough Autumn Colors Classic Victory Lane. Chandler, what a drive here. You got to be real pleased with how that worked. You know, you get in this race by not having a great season, man, but what a way to cap it off with a win.
Yeah, no, it was good. Finally be able to win something other than a heat.
This car looked really fast out there. You got to feel pretty good for the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, we do. Hopefully we can. Last year we started on the front row and had a bad run, so hopefully we can finish it with something better this year. So,
right on. Chandler Boss, ladies and gentlemen, he will get the new winners feature here at Peterborough. We'll take a quick break on G-Force. We got one race to go. It's the Super Stock non-winners event. Coming up next, we'll be back live from Peterborough.
Custom boat, RV, or camper mattresses made for your comfort at Best Way Bedding. Odd shapes, any size, made in St. Catharines with Canadian components. Best Way Bedding. Mattresses for boats and RVs. Visit our showroom or see us online.
Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Our savory potato sides can be prepared any way you like. Serve warm or chilled, as a main or as a side. Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Create your way to great taste.
You're so tasty. Drive me crazy. Ain't nothing I can do.
Grab Rev up your engines and get ready for some high-octane action. GeForce TV is your one-stop destination for all the best racing action across Ontario. With free live coverage of the APC Series, Bushwick and Speedway, Southern Ontario Sprints, and much more. You won't miss a single moment of the excitement. Whether you're a die-hard fan or a casual viewer, GeForce TV has everything you need to stay up to date on the latest racing news and events. Head to our website at GeForceTV.net and start watching today.
Welcome back to Peterborough Speedway, where we're setting up for the final race of the night, the non-winners race in the Superstock division. We've got a little bit of exciting controversy to kick things off, looking into the eligibility requirements of all the drivers on the track, fellas.
That's the mystery at this point. Are you eligible or are you not?
There are 7 cars that we have listed that are supposed to be on this race. And there's 8 cars on the track, so there's a little bit of a question on that 8th car.
So it looks like what happened is Colton Everingham could be qualified to run this race because he hasn't won a feature this year. We believe that's him in the 49 car, but apparently there is a rule you can't drive someone else's car in this race tonight.
And Colton has his Superstock here that he has campaigned all year, so we'll let it go for now, and we'll let the officials sort that out, and then we'll see if the 49 stays on track or not. But lead them off, 42 Machine 2023 Quick Wit Can-Am Midget Series champion. That is Daniel Hahn, the Hahn Motor and Chassis Works Tire Depot SVIS Flamborough Machine Shop 42 Machine. 26 Machine is Jacob Booth, making the jump in the Superstock division. The Big Brian and Sons towing JVS Landscaping, Auto Trim Design of Barry, Century Macing Construction. Number 26 ride, that'll be 15 Machine of Rob Richards. The Needus Collision Center, Monte Carlo. 63 Machine is Cole Burrows. Burrows in the Fox's Bakery and Deli Store Equipment, DJG Graphics. VW Towing, House Automotive, Morrison Climate Control, Northern Meats, WB Automotive, Hemp Guru, Paul House & Associates, Epic Race Ranch, Streamline Race Products, number 63 Machine. Then we have the 08 Machine of Paul Boundy, the Alma Mechanical, Mark Rainford Auto Center, Crown Whitby, Port Perry Salvage, Boundy Roofing, Rona Port Hope Ride. Then we go to the 96 Machine of Donovan Price, the Durham Mai Tai Racing Cards.ca, Wilds Printing, Homesmith Real Estate Team, Carbell Pickering, and GFL entry. The 6 Machine, that would be Brad Laval, the Dan's Appliance Repair, Norwood Auto Wreckers, Mr. Transmission Peterborough, and Kingsway Auto Center. Number 6 ride, and officials having a discussion with the 49 on the back straightaway.
I see another one that would qualify for this race, although he raced consistently all season long, finished high in the points. Brandon Feeney. Brandon Feeney's not out here with a Superstock because he traded he sold it. He traded his Superstock for a modified series.
The conversation ongoing on the back straightaway.
So
it seems fairly clear up in the tower that they don't think the 49 should be out there.
Yeah, in the rules package for the weekend, it did state that you had to run your own car. But so normally how it worked before is we had the Young Guns race, which was an age limit race. So, and you could have drivers that bounce around from different cars. You could have a Superstock driver and a mini stock. They fit the age limit, that sort of deal. So I don't know if they're trying to follow the spirit of the rules of what used to be. But to my understanding, it had to have been your own car.
Yeah, whatever car you campaigned this year full time and didn't collect a win in, you're rewarded with a race to drive in.
Do you want to talk about the second one? So just make it clear to them that
so I believe
Colton is racing this car for the whole weekend, then we're fine. If Miles goes in, it'll be disqualified.
So now the plot thickens. So now the plot thickens. Now,
so the question is, there's already been a round of Superstock heats the question now is who was driving the 49 car.
Yeah, because if Miles Tyson raced the 49 car at all this weekend, Everingham can't race it.
But it would also explain why
this
Everingham
race.
didn't run his super stock that he brought here this weekend if he ended up in the 49 car.
Maybe it was him in the heat.
Because I was wondering, because Everingham didn't even practice his 48 car. He just practiced the Pro Late model he brought, but he did not practice the super stock.
Joey asked if he could run in the race, but he thought he was running the 48 car. He can't take somebody else's car. You have to be running the car that you're running here this weekend.
So trying to explain this all out to a driver who's already strapped into a car. And if you've ever seen Colton Everingham and Miles Tyson stand side by side, you'll understand why it's a big deal for Everingham, because he has wedged himself in there, I'm sure of it.
Yeah. And whatever you say to Colton Everingham, you're going to say with a certain degree of respect and tact.
Okay, so now that ruling has been made official, with the 49 pulling off the racetrack.
A little bit of drama, a little bit of excitement, get the tension up to start off the final race of the night.
The controversy of a non-winner's eligibility.
I know he's pitted right next door to JBJ. I'm sure there'll be lots of conversations.
So these drivers getting to heat these tires now. They've had a few laps to do that already, so hopefully double up quick here and get this non-winner's race, which I think will be 20 laps now?
15 laps.
15 laps for this one as well?
15 laps the distance.
I like it. Symmetry,
Exactly. You almost can't see Donovan Bryce's car. That camouflage is pretty trick.
Yeah, he's got quite the interesting numbers, because I think it's like a kickboxing dude in the number.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, so they're not really camo, but it's because he's got Durham Mai Tai on the car, so I think it's like a kickboxer in the number.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's been running the 96 number for a long time, but yeah, he has modified it with the Muay Thai, Durham Muay Thai kickboxing club being a big sponsor of his, and a big moral sponsor as well.
All right, so here we go. Super stock non-winners come to the Great Canadian RV Green Flag to close out night number one here at the APC Autumn Colors Classic, presented by Toronto Motorama. Side by side down in turn number one. Hahn going to come over the top spot. Booth trying to slide in line for second. Rob Richards going to stick the nose in there. Not going to allow that to happen. Down to 3 and 4. Booth able to get a good run through 3 and 4. Now going to stick the nose to the inside of Tyler Hahn. Didn't have enough to run down into turn number one. Going to fall back in line. Hahn going to go to work the Tire Depot 42 machine, trying to pull away from the Century Mason Construction JVS Landscaping 26 machine of Jacob Booth. Rob Richards runs in the third spot, the Natives Collision Center. Now we see why he got those laps earlier. Normally, if you're going to run a heat race, you get practice tomorrow, but want to make sure that car was good for the non-winners race. And so far, the 15 car running in third. They've got the problem sorted out under the hood on the Natives Collision Center Monte Carlo.
Paul Bounty starting to look a little racy. He's trying to compete for that third position with Richards.
And he's trying to go as low as he can. He's down over the curb through 1 and 2. And that's not quite going to work. Upset the car that badly that time off of 2, but able to rebound through 3 and 4 to close in on the rear bumper of the 15 car. A little bit better through this end of the racetrack is the 08, but Rob Richards, a long-time campaigner, knows how to play it smart, rolling the bottom of the racetrack like we've seen Warns do earlier in the OMRS Modified feature. Just knows how to take that lane away off of turn number 2 when the driver really wants to get low to the bottom side of the racetrack. Hahn's been smooth so far at the front of the field. Booth hasn't been able to close in so far. Down over the curb to the 26 that time through 1 and 2, trying to change things up. Searching for every bit of speed Jacob Booth can find on the racetrack, but the battle right now is on for third. Richards up the hill. Here comes Bounty down to the inside in the 08 machine. The Alamo Mechanical Crown Whitby 08 car to the inside of the 15 of Rob Richards. He'll slide up to the third spot now. Richards back to fourth. He's got a long way to go to try to reel in your front pair. And at this point in time, we are 8 laps in, 7 laps to go. So we're going to past the halfway point in this one.
Booth just ran his fastest lap of the race, so the car's coming to him when he wants it to. Then he gave some of that time back.
I mean, for Booth, it's just going to have to, this is all learning for him. More laps behind the wheel of a super stock, making the jump from the bone stocks here at the tail end of the season. So
that's quite the big jump.
Quite the big jump, but I mean, he checked all the boxes in bone stock. You know, a feature winner here, a championship at Sunset, Full Throttle Motor Speedway, podium finish up at Sauble. He kind of done everything he wanted to do in bone stock, and just wanted to skip that mini stock stage and get right into super stock. And they've done so, acquiring this car from Corey McAllister, and right now having a good run here in the non-winners race.
Popsicle sticks will be up this time by for Daniel Hahn, Jacob Booth, Paul Boundy, Rob Richardson, Cole Burrows, your top 5.
Smooth sailing for the Golden Boy Daniel Hahn, your 2023 Quick Kid and Midget Series champion. Looking to pick up a win here in the Super Stock on night number 1 of the Autumn Colors Classic presented by APC and Toronto Motorama. White flag in the air. One more trip around the park for the Flamborough Machine Shop Tire Depot. Hahn Motor and Chassis Works 42 machine. Down the back straightaway. Half straightaway advantage over the 26 of Booth. Into 3 off of 4. Checkered flag in the air. Hahn with the win. Booth for second. Boundy going to come home in third. Richards in fourth. And be Cole Burrows rounding out the top 5.
Bottom and Price lighting up those rear tires off of turn number 4. Just about lost control of that car. Good night of racing. Mostly clean, not a lot of torn up race cars. A couple of Legends cars where those crews are going to have some work to do. But by and large, a good night of competition to open up Autumn Colors weekend.
That's what you want, a nice clean Friday night. Everyone getting geared up for the band.
Thankfully, it was the second place finisher in the non-winners race we're just learning was disqualified for being too low, because nothing would be a bigger kick in the...
This is in the mini stock or the
mini
super
stock? So that would be Rob Crick.
Nothing be a bigger kick in the teeth than losing your win in the non-winners race.
Oh, so it was third place Coleridge Finnemore who got bounced then. Our mistake. So third place.
But not the winner.
Not the winner,
so
and
the
not
winner,
second.
The winner of the non-winner is still the winner.
Yes. So Daniel Hahn getting set to come up out of the car. Clinton Jeffrey down trackside in Dart Heating and Air Conditioning, Victory Lane.
Thanks, Brendan. This is new wheels for them here. They picked this up mid-season, working on it here, got the car out, been running really good. You know, we've seen Daniel a lot in the Can-Am midgets, but now in a super stock. Here he comes out of this beautiful 42. How about it for Daniel Hahn, everybody? Daniel, anytime you can come to Peterborough at Autumn Colors and pick up any kind of checkered flag is a pretty good start to your weekend. You got to be pretty happy how this finished off your Friday night.
Yeah, we got a good car. We got, honestly, junk tires on, and I'm itching to put the new ones on because, like, I'm a competitor at heart. So these guys talked me out of it, and I got a great spotter, great team behind me. This is new to me. This is my second race, but I promise you we're going to make a dent in this division coming next year. So thanks, everybody. I want to thank my sponsors, HMCW, Hahn Motorsports, Hahn Fab, SMS, FCR, Tire Depot. Big shout out to Flamborough Machine Shop, man. That guy supported me and supports a lot of racers, and my family, man. Thanks, guys, for coming.
A new winner down here in Victory Lane to close off the night. Daniel Hahn, guys, we'll send it up to you to wrap up the night for us.
It was a great night of racing. There's lots still to come, but on behalf of Clinton Jeffrey, Charlie Toner, Brendan Doherty, I'm Adam Ross saying so long from Peterborough Speedway. We'll see you again tomorrow at Autumn Colors Classic.
Copyrighted broadcast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of GeForce TV. GeForce TV would like to thank you for your support and for watching today's broadcast.